And 3. The name is Law Nation. Let's continue to grind and shine. As the room fill up, be sure to smash upon the like button. Coach Mike McCarthy spent time with Dak Prescott. Plus, we're going to talk about the draft. And as well as you all know, Terence Steele, not reserved. Come on. As the room fill up, be sure, and I mean just that, be sure to smash upon the like button. Let's go. Mama said there'll be days just like this. And if you're new here, be sure to know that sharing is caring, by the way. Come on. Sure. To know that sharing, stand up, baby. Come on. Ain't no party like a cowboy party, yeah. But what about a Law Nation groove, baby? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Come on. Let's get it. Hey. Ho. What's good with y'all, man? One love to all, man. I appreciate you guys so much for tuning in. The Cowboys always going to have some type of news circulating around, and the news that's circulating around now would be the Terence Steele drama for your mama, right? The old saying, whereas the Cowboys always make a difficult situation more difficult, right? What's 5 plus 5? You know what I'm saying? Oh, it's 10, but no, technically, it's really not 10 because 15 minus 5 is 10, right? And that's how they want to go around it, right? But it is what it is, Cowboy Nation. We're going to walk through this, and we're going to go over this. Shout out to the news that's circulating around Mike McCarthy working with Dak Prescott on his interceptions. They said they spent over 4 hours. 4 hours going over it. And I would tell y'all, first and foremost, that's not even enough. That's still not enough hours. I want them to go in and still go over things over and over again. And we got to figure this part out, ladies and gentlemen, that if the Cowboys want to be from good to great to elite, then we just got to make sure we cross all our T's, dot our I's, right? And on top of that, I do like the fact that when we going into these type of conversational pieces, that the Cowboys are comfortable of letting and leaking that stuff out, right? So that it can be transparent just a little bit, right? But to this Terence Steele situation, let me see if I can pull this up. Yeah, Terence Steele. He was a guy that forced me to say, hey, man, I apologize, man. I apologize for calling you Steele Reserve. Because every year he got better. He done got stronger. He done got quicker. He became nasty. He was an animal. Everybody counted him out. And, of course, the philosophy of, hey, let's just slide him down inside to be guard because he's such a great at run blocking or run support. I get all of that. Nevertheless, when you look back at the film, you will see he was solid as a rock, only allowed 1 sack last season at right tackle. I think that the Cowboys, when he went down, they were really missing out because it was him. It was flat out him that got everything going as it relates to the run game, as it relates to keeping the quarterback upright. It was Terence Steele. And even in 2021, there were a lot of reservations. There was a lot of people capping. There was a lot of people saying that, hey, La'el Collins, he's the right tackle. And they were playing musical chairs with said Terence Steele then, right? Who remember that? And on top of that, it's a situation and a scenario that when you look back at film and you look at the tape, upon tape, you will see Big 78 keeping the quarterback upright. He's keeping the running lanes open. Some lanes, I was looking at it like me. I could run through some of those things at 40, right? So when we start talking about Terence Steele and my guy Duke Manyweather, he's out there fighting for his life to tell everybody, look, he's not trash. He's not horrible. And he's not going to cut his legs off from under his feet because, yes, you know, he got his office and everything right next to the Star in Frisco. And I know that he don't want to sully the waters and muddy things up. But there's a good old chance in a scenario, ladies and gentlemen, that there's a guy by the name of Law Nation that I don't care who muddy the waters over here. I don't care who name that I stretch out. As long as I say allegedly, they can't do anything to me. So therefore, I'm going to be an advocate for Terence Steele plus Duke Manyweather. Because there was a guy by the name of Drew saying that, hey, Steele is ass in pass blocking, right? And we don't see that. And this is what my guy, my dog, Duke Manyweather put out there as it relates to, let me retort. Let me put the dog. That's what he put out here. Boom. Here we go. And it's weird. It's a weird narrative that 78 isn't good in pass pro. And some of y'all still holding his rookie season. He gotten better, y'all. And I'm just going to leave it here. And he posted this. 7 is a top 5 pass rusher, you know. Hassan Reddick, 55 and 94 are dogs. Now show his pass pros technique, and you would see that Terence still didn't allow anyone to get inside. Didn't allow anyone to get to the quarterback or what have you. So I love that. And translations for the nation. Stop playing around with it, baby. Stop playing around with it. Go ahead, Jones family, and sign T. Steele, your right tackle, to a long-term deal. You've seen the man at his lowest. You've seen him at his bottom, his rookie season. An undrafted rookie, his rookie year, was thrown into the fire. We done went through the growing pains. We done crossed the burning sands. We done came out alive. Let this kid stay and solidify their role. And if the Cowboys were wise in 2021, at the end of that year, they would have looked at everything and said, dog, we got rid of La'el Collins. Let's just start working on the contract. Nah. Let's start working on the contract. Nah. You know? So, Jones family, shout out to you, DT. Thank you for your support. And as well as Brandy, thank you so much. They don't want to pay Steele. Point blank, shaking my head. Because here's the thing. Here's the thing right here, ladies and gentlemen. The Cowboys got, I want to be the smartest man in the room syndrome. The Cowboys got the notion that, hey, I would like to be the smartest man in the room. They like to make it such a complicated situation that they discount what they already got, and it naturally drives up the price, and it builds a rough and rugged discourse with said player, and the expectations is out of the roof now, and it's all dealing with not the player, but how the language is within, or are pretty much, because you got so many, the contract. That's just how it is. So we seeing the same thing. We saw it with DeMarcus Lawrence. We saw it with Dak Prescott. We saw it even with Byron Jones, even though they managed to get rid of that, let him play on his last season, and then he ended up walking, and we got some compensatory picks for him. We've seen it also now with Terence Steele, and now we've seen it it also with Tony Pollard. There's no other way around it, because this is what we do. we continue to hold those things, and we get those type of results. It's unfortunate, but that's just the way the Cowboys rock as it relates to their contracts. Now, you could have gotten D-Law when he first went to his battleships with his contract negotiation pieces. You could have got him at a lower deal if you went on ahead and let that man and pay that man, but you let this dude play on 2 franchise tags, right? The same could be said by Dak Prescott, and the same is about to be said about what's finna happen with Terence Steele playing on his second-round tender, as well as Tony Pollard. So it's just what it is. Shout out to you, Nick. He says Big Hank. Yeah, we did sign Big Hank. Yeah, shout out to him. But before I go any further down here, I want you guys to do me a huge favor. You want to keep the show going, press that like button if you enjoy what you're hearing. Press the like button, help the brother out. Let's listen to Clarence Hill. He was on 105.3 The Fan on the O-line configuration, CeeDee Lamb and Diggs extensions. This was on my guy, KG and Reggie show. One of the best in the business out here, man. Appreciate them.
You know, McCarthy spoke, and I mean, there's been a lot of consternation over Jerry and McCarthy's comments on this offensive line. Do we have more detail on kind of the way that both of them view the offensive line, and do they actually align?
You know, it's funny because, you know, there is talk about using Terence Steele and cross-training him at guard for flexibility, to see what you have. I'm talking to Steven, who said we're trying to get the best 5 out there. You know, what people are upset about, I know I follow social media that they basically labeled Tyler Smith to start at right tackle and Tyler Smith to start at left tackle, and now they're trying to find a role in how they can use Terence Steele, when most people think Terence Steele should be the right tackle, Tyler Smith should be the right left guard, and Tyler Smith should be the left tackle. So that's where people are going crazy about the best 5 guys. But, you know, when you do that deal to bring Tyron back, you're not bringing him back to be in a backup role. You know, the question is, can you trust Tyron to stay healthy?
Yeah, that's the thing. Can you trust Tyron to stay healthy? When healthy, he's a phenomenal player. He's a phenomenal left tackle. You don't want to stunt the growth of Tyler, though. So, because Tyler played so well at that spot, only allowing 3 sacks this season, this past season. So, the person that's speaking is Clarence Hill. Shout out to him. But before I go into other details, I just want to say this from Landon Holyfield. You know, Holyfield, I think that's how you say this man's name, from the Lando Show. He had a wonderful tweet. He says, Terence Steele, better right tackle than Tyron Smith, right? Tyron Smith, better left tackle right now as it relates to resume and even when healthy, better than Tyler Smith. Tyler Smith, all-pro ceiling is at guard, right? Now, granted, here's how this is how I look at it. And I've said this before. Sometimes players get into the money race, right? And they battle each other. They say, well, I don't want to be a guard because I want to be a tackle. Tackle make more money, right? And you get people that's naturally gifted at a certain spot. For example, Zach Martin, he can probably be a hell of a tackle right now. But for right now, we know what he is at guard. Now, Tyler Smith, before he got a chance and an opportunity to solidify his role at guard, he was flexed out to tackle, and he did a phenomenal job. So the inverse happened. Law, what are you saying? The inverse happened with Big La'el Collins. In my opinion, his frame, the way he's built, the way he can move and get out in space, everything spoke to me that Big La'el Collins better at guard. Guard. La'el Collins would have been all pro, made multiple Pro Bowls at guard, right? And newsflash, these are not just me reaching, right? You can pull up film and you would never see a sack allowed from La'el Collins at guard. Let me repeat, when he was here for the Cowboys, you can pull up film and you can go and do your own independent homework, and he never allowed a single sack at guard in his professional career for the Dallas Cowboys. Matter of fact, you can pull up highlight reels for La'el Collins at guard. It's hard to find highlight reels for La'el Collins at right tackle. Could he play right tackle? Yes. I recall even going back to a playoff game. My guy, big La'el Collins at right tackle, even he had a sack on Dak Prescott. I remember that against the Rams? He sacked Dak Prescott. But here's the thing. Sometimes you'll fool around and fall in love with a spot or a role because of the money, and you'll chase the bag instead of chasing your God natural abilities and gift, right? And you would play outside and never going to come back inside. And that is what happened with La'el. He was always better at guard, in my opinion. Now, yes, down his career, he got to a high level. As everybody look back, I think that was the year 2019. He had his best season, and then he disappeared. Pandemic happened, things happened, He done ate his way up into 360 pounds. He tried to get down to a playing weight so quickly. He had bad hips, and then he got into a car wreck, and then he started using PEDs. A whole bunch of negative things happened to my guy, La'el Collins. And he never lived up to that contract since then. Life happens. Life come at you quick. It do. And the pandemic, y'all know, that's a cuss word to me. 2020, that's a cuss word, right? It's worse than the FUs and any other word that you can think of. 2020 is a horrible year for me, and I know it could be for you guys too. I can't stand 2020. Nevertheless, when we look at everything, the Dallas Cowboys are in a similar situation with this, because now they want to hold on to Tyron Smith, which, if healthy, he'll be great, right? But they want to say to themselves, they don't want to be wrong, so they're going to go into this mindset of saying, okay, we'll keep Tyler Smith at left tackle, which he was pretty good at, and then they're going to go probably into this draft world or what have you to draft a guard, or they're looking at it and trying to be smart and say, let's go with, hear me out, their version of the best five. And the guy that trained Terence Steele up from his rookie year into where he's at said, no, keep him at right tackle. No, don't put him on the left side. Keep him at right tackle. They said, nah, dog, we trust what we got going on over here, and they want to roll out with this plan of Tyler Smith, Terence, Tyler Biadasz, Zach Martin, and Tyron Smith at right tackle. That's hustling backwards. But my guy Landon from the Landon Show says this will be his best version of best five. Tyron at left tackle, Tyler at left guard, Tyler Biadasz at center, Zach Martin at right guard, and then Terence Steele at right tackle. To do what Jerry is saying do is putting three men out of place. Straight up goofy, right? So that versions of it is crazy in my opinion. That version of it is because what happened here is, why would you want to reshuffle the deck? You got three guys playing out of sorts or out of spots, and now you're going to get these type of things. In the words of my guy, Boss Cowboy, the wee-woo. You see, you getting the wee-woo movement. If y'all don't know who that is, go check out Boss Cowboy Sports and watch his show. You would know. You would hear the wee-woo stuff. Now, two things can happen. Three things can really be for real. But let me tell you about this that can happen. The Cowboys can clearly have one of these moments, whereas it's smoke and mirrors. They already have a design of a person that they really love versus like in this draft, and they trying to throw off the scent, right? in certain situations, don't be downwind, right? You know what I'm saying? So here's the thing. You need to be downwind, or you got to go against the grain type of situation. The other situation and scenario flat out could be that the Dallas Cowboys trying to be the smartest man in the room. And they're looking at it like this. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls around the world, Terence Steele, as good as he is at tackle, he can be a better guard, right? As good as he is. Because if you think about what he can do down inside, you know, he can move furniture out the way. And they need every help and every possibility of him, not just on the right side, but the left. And he can do just that. Well, I would tell you guys that could be flat out the truth. But the problem is whenever you switch, and especially coming off of an injury, because you got to get your muscle memories together and everything. And now you want someone to switch a whole new spot that they never played in a long time. It's even harder. Law, do you have any truth to that? Well, when Michael Gallup came back, he was no longer considered the third option. They wanted that brother to come back and be the second option. That's hustling backwards. And they rushed him back at that. So why play with fire? If you know what you got going on is good, then why mess it up? People will say, let's not try to reinvent the wheel. The wheel is nice. The wheel is very nice. It's circular for a reason. But somebody is going to look at that and say, let's make it a hexagon, you know. Let's make the wheel rectangular, you know. It's not going to work, baby. Come on.
And in my understanding, talking to them, talking to people, not at the press conference, just talking, you know, at the bars and different things in the hallways, they believe that if you watch Tyron, pass blocking wise, he is a better pass blocker than Terence Steele. And he can get, if he continues to get the games and he gets the full training camp and gets the work that he needs to, get what he needs to be done.
Get it together.
Otherwise, he can be at least as equal to Steele as a run blocker. And so there's a lot of confidence. You know, the question is, you know, can he stay healthy? We all know he hasn't been healthy since 2015.
Okay, chill. Help me out here, because Tyron Smith is going into his 12th season in the National Football League. And at this point in his career, why do the Cowboys feel like, with Tyron, given his injury history and what he is going to be asked to do at this stage in his career, that would be the move, given how well that he has played, obviously, as left tackle throughout the course of his career?
Well, number one, left tackle, they want to leave Tyler there.
No doubt. Shout out to you, Deanna, for Alan, for that cash out. Yes, indeed. You and Bill Gates must be related. I thank you for that. I thank you so much for that cash out. Thank you for your love and adulations.
You know, they believe Tyler has a huge upside, and they want to leave Tyler there. You know, and so, you know, the left tackle is not the issue. The issue is right tackle, and why you put him in front of Terence Steele, who you think a lot of people think have a big upside. You know, you talk about his age, Tyron's age, and injury history. Why are you putting him in front of Terence Steele? And I just think that what they've committed to him financially and what he's done, they think, you know, he can play there. But, you know, we all know this is March. It's not even April yet.
Right.
We don't know what they're going to do with the draft. They may draft a guard, you know. Secondly, Tyron has to get healthy and stay healthy throughout the offseason and training camp, which he hasn't done.
Right.
You know, it all might be a moot point. And, you know, Terence Steele may still be the right tackle. And, of course, as we talked about, he has to stay healthy for a full season, which he hasn't done since 2015.
Here's my thoughts, man. And I love the Cowboys. Every day I wake up and I got to get some Cowboys content and information in me, right? And the Cowboys basically saying this right here, that they truly believe that Tyron Smith is a better right tackle than Terence Steele. And by that being such, that Terence Steele, since we got a voided area at guard, instead of him being on the bench, we're going to convert him from a right tackle to guard because they don't believe in Terence Steele at right tackle. And the guy that trained with Terence Steele, even working with Terence Steele, right? Let me see if I got that film. Even working with Terence Steele, is saying basically, hey, this dude is a right tackle. He's a right player, and don't move him. I bumped into Duke Manyweather. I think it was right before the Denver's game. And I think that's when they were talking about moving and kicking and sliding Terence Steele to the left tackle. And he told me straight up, he said, it ain't going to work, Law. It will not work. This is a horrible move. And I forgot who was the left tackle that he said that it would have a better chance at least and keep, if you want to do anything, you can, because La'el Collins made it back that game. If you want to do anything, just keep La'el Collins at guard and elevate Brandon Knight or somebody like that at left tackle. He said regardless, it's bad. It would not work. He told me that. I sat upon that information, and me, the OC, because we was at the Colony at the time doing an event, I said, man, I can go live right now, have 100,000 views about this information. But I will not do that because, there's integrity involved. Because if I would have leaked that information out, ladies and gentlemen, and the way we looked like in that Denver's game, shoot. And people were still on the ropes. People were still on the ropes with the ideology. Let me get this off the screen. Y'all bear with me. Yeah, people were still on the ropes with Terence Steele then. People were still saying that, hey, La'el Collins, remember that fight? Everybody, mama, uncle, cousin. Everybody was leaning, La'el Collins better than Terence Steele at right tackle. La'el Collins, you couldn't convince a third of the Cowboy Nation. It was the great divide, like the ice cream. Tyron Smith should be a swing player, not a starter. Glenn Capers, 1,000 troops right there. Yeah. You couldn't get people off the ropes. They couldn't get people off the ropes. Sometimes you got to mourn the loss of the thoughts that you have of the player. You got to mourn the ideal. But some people was holding on so hard and so heavy about the fact that, hey, La'el Collins is better. La'el Collins. And then we got my guy, big Coach Marv, to call in. And you know how Coach Marv called in. Coach Marv was like, yeah, Law, if you look at La'el Collins, that hip, he still ain't in shape, Law. They're going to take about 1 to 2 years before La'el Collins get moving around again. And one thing I can tell by looking at his tape, Law, he ain't disciplined enough. Law, trust me, Law. And I was like, yeah, Coach Marv, you right. He'll know. But the problem was that a lot of people want to hold on to 2018, 2019 La'el Collins. In 2018, he wasn't even as good and as polished as Terence Steele is now. Yeah, y'all love Coach Marr, don't they? Coach Marr he hit us up in 2021 with that whole situation. Because of the dexterity, the flexibility of a guy that gained 360 pounds, and then he lost it. He was on PEDs. I'm not selling or denigrating La'el Collins. Shout out to him. Shout out to Mama Collins, all of the La'el Collins family that watched and followed the channel for many of years. But what I'm saying is that these are facts, right? And Terence Steele was just being punched around and moved around like a piñata, right? And the whole time, the problem is, when he was inserted even in that Raiders game, they'll find that one clip of Max Crosby picking up Terence Steele and rocking my baby to the treetop. So, yes, Max blew the hell up over Terence Steele in that game. But even in that game, ladies and gentlemen, it is such a hard deal to play musical chairs because they were rotating the right tackle then. And I'm going all the way back to 2021 when we played the Raiders. Y'all remember that? But let's listen to more of what he had to say. I got my guy Coach Marv right here. You know what I'm saying? Okay, let me see what Coach Marv had to say. He says, Law, if we draft a tight end, and I said at the 4th or the 5th round, it would be Zach Kuntz. Yeah. Check his combine numbers. Hell, we still holding on to 2018 LVE. Shaking my head. Yeah.
Want the truth? You can't handle the truth.
I tell you this, and this is no shade. It was only one person that I know spoken glowingly of LVE, and his name is Michael Parsons. But I had a chance and opportunity to speak to other linebackers, not going to say their name, don't want to put their name out there in the streets. They in their hearts feel that they are better than LVE in every aspect, and they on the team. And they said if they give the opportunity, you will see it. Now, granted, I'm not saying anything negative about LVE, and those are the things and the words that I want players to say, and especially at a linebacker. There's a certain type of mindset that you got to have as a linebacker. And you don't want docile linebackers. You want dogs. You want lions, wolves, as he used to go hunt at linebacker. Mentality check. But neither here nor there, LVE stood tall when you had big boys down inside and keep his pad levels clean. But I want these young bulls to come out here and continue to push LVE. I really do. I want them to come out there and say, LVE, come on. You know, come on. Look how I hit dude. You know what I'm saying? Look how I went down and fell. Crashed and fell. Because at the end of the day, you shouldn't be ranked where you are ranked, LVE, as it relates to your average depths per tackle. It shouldn't be that way. That means you're second guessing. Yes, you're getting stats or what have you, but you need to come down and feel a little bit better, right? So it is what it is. And on top of that, look, y'all don't have to take my word for it. If you ever ran a player, if you ever ran a linebacker, pull them to the side if you're in Dallas area and say off the record, talk to me about what you really think about 55. And they'll let you know right there. And I ain't lying to kick it.
So we're talking to Clarence Hill of the Fort Worth Star Telegram right here on 105 Through the Fan and Chill. Obviously, again, Mike McCarthy talking got a lot of people going today. We've been trying to get a hold on what that offense might look like. Do we have more clarity on what exactly some of the principles that he's bringing to the table are?
No, I mean, we understand he's more of a West Coast guy,
right?
And he's going to bring his West Coast principles and things like that. He's talked about certainly the old San Francisco 49er offenses, but certainly they'll still continue to do some of the things they've been doing, which has worked and worked well for Dak. But no. The issue is, will he be rushed as a play caller? Do you trust him as a play caller? He hasn't called plays in a while. Is it going to take some time for him to get in the rhythm again? Which is something he's talked about. He's already in the shower and, driving his car, calling plays and thinking of plays and schemes as he's getting so caught up in his offense and revamping his offense philosophically to how they want to do things compared to how they've done things in the past. And so, we'll see how it looks, but, they do like the pieces they have. They certainly likes getting Cooks, what Cook looks like in his offense, be a guy that can stretch the field and open some things up for CeeDee Lamb and some other receivers. Talked about Steven. Steven talked about it, and Jerry Shirley talked about it yesterday, that he does some things that Amari Cooper did for them, opening things up for other receivers. Now, you would say, why didn't y'all let Amari Cooper go? Well, that's a whole other question. But they think they finally corrected that mistake and get rid of Amari Cooper with Brandon Cooks.
Clarence, I'm interested in the vibe at the league meetings when it comes to the talk around the Cowboys. Obviously, you're in deep talking with Jerry and Steven and Mike McCarthy. What's been the collective, though, talk around the league meetings about what the Cowboys have done so far this offseason?
before they go into the details of that, y'all, for the last time, yeah, I feel y'all. I'm not dogging LVE. I appreciate y'all. Matter of fact, LVE played phenomenal. You know what I'm saying? But the market dictates all of that too, right? So if, and I'm using this word casually, if he's good, then what is Roquan Smith? Is he just good too? On the open market, and if it was set today, and both of them is out there, how many days would Roquan Smith be out there juxtaposed to LVE? If both of them good. So if Roquan is considered good, then what would be considered of an LVE if he's good? I'm just asking. I just want to know from the analogy or from the aspect of saying someone is good, right? On the open market, all 32 teams, they need a linebacker. And you got Roquan there and you got LVE there. How many days will it take for those boys to get signed? And who will be signed first? Big Wayne. Big Wayne. I keep on messing your name. I'm trying to Wayne. But Big Wayne says, whose offense was better, Mike and Kellen or Jason and Scott Lanahan? I think it always been Kellen and Jason / Scott Lanahan's. We didn't see any really fingerprints of Mike McCarthy's offense for these last 3 years. Literally, you can pick this offense up and go back to 2013. You would see the same variations of the offense. You can go all the way back to 2008. You can see the same variations of this same offense. It was a vertical spread offense, and that's what we've seen from this situation. No West Coast philosophies and principles were here. Now, what Big Mike McCarthy will do is he would take some of the good things that Kellen Moore done here while he's been in Dallas and apply it. All right, but I appreciate you. Chris 214, Jabril, Damone Clark, Harper needs some of that. We like our guys, love and play them. That's the time to utilize we like our guys phrase. Laughing out loud.
Want the truth? You can't handle the truth.
I appreciate you, Chris. Man, you had me dying talking about Kellen Moore rode the bike with those dollar store flip-flops on. Dog, I was done. Salute Law Nation. D-Web, yesterday. Mike McCarthy was only giving advice to the young fellow. That's just what it is. But now we look back at this team, and granted, we are saying collectively, all saying the same thing, right? There could be points made, like even I would play the audio, but I can't. There's points made by, and you can take it with a grain of salt, of Cowherd saying, Cowherd and McIntyre, I think that's their name, the other guy's name, is saying that the offense finna suffer, that Kellen Moore was the bright and brilliant one. And the person that was holding this team back was Dak Prescott as well as Mike McCarthy. That's their beliefs. And by them not re-signing Dalton Schultz, we're going to see an epic fall of offense because Kellen Moore is head and shoulders better than Brian Schottenheimer. So that is what they're saying. Colin Cowherd, as well as I think the other guy's name McIntyre. You know what I'm saying? So I think that there's a lot of placating around with that. I think that, where they're going is the LA Chargers, right? And if you look back at it, the base there could be that Colin Cowherd show is in LA. So I'm going to speak positive about a guy that I could meet up with while in L.A. You know what I'm saying? Yes, it's bull sugar. But those guys got millions and millions of views, right? Millions and millions of network dollars that they can spit out that with no rebuttal. Both of those boys just like kissing brothers. They on the show and they kissing each other. There's no tangible debate line there, right? Both of those guys agreeing to each other conversation. I would love to see some contrast to say, hey, yeah, Colin Cowherd, I feel you. However, this is what this gold jacket said. This is what that gold jacket said. And this is what this guy said, and this is what this guy. So not everybody's lying, right? They used to have a saying kissing sisters, but since it's two guys, politically, it's kissing brothers, right? So they kissing brothers over there. You know what I'm saying? There's no shot thrown at Colin Cowherd. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But it is what it is. Like, where's the contrast to it? So Kellen Moore was such a brilliant, great guy on the open market. You know what I'm saying? Why did it take him so long? Why Kellen Moore didn't get a head coaching job somewhere? How come the dude that was the offensive coordinator for the Eagles and the dude that was the defensive coordinator for the Eagles, how come they get head coaching jobs? Huh? You know? Or it could be that Kellen Moore and Eric Bieniemy the same person, right? Because they couldn't get head coaching jobs. I guess this is what it is, huh? Big Win says the unstable offensive line led to most of the offensive woes in his opinion. Yeah, we were ranked 28th in run and pass block win rate. So, yeah, that was terrible. Yeah, no. But here's the truth, though. Here's the truth. Kellen Moore was a brilliant one. Look, the Chargers better go to the Super Bowl. The Chargers better go to the AFC Championship game. The Chargers better have their wide receivers. I'm watching every Chargers game. I'm literally watching I'm a die-hard Charger watcher. I ain't going to say a fan, but I'm going to be watching all of the Chargers game. Bolt up, baby. You know what I'm saying? After I watch my Cowboys game, I'm going right over there to the Chargers. I'm watching every game.
A lot of people like what they've done. The big question again is, what is Mike going to look like as a play caller? Just talking to people, talking to the people in the network, that's what they wonder. What is he going to look like as a play caller? Because his tenure in Green Bay certainly won a Super Bowl. At the end of his tenure, they didn't like the way the Packers offense looked with Mike calling plays.
Clarence, with Jerry, I always find it interesting because, especially with you, but with the media members that he, really has a familiarity with, Jerry really can get to talking. Is there anything additional outside of what we've largely come to know that you've found interesting through the meetings?
No, I mean, the thing about the Cowboys, there's really not, compared to past years, there's really not any major issues, major hanging storylines. We can drill down the offensive line, but there's no major storyline this year. Everybody's league meetings has been all about the Washington. It's all about Lamar. It's all about Green Bay and the Jets. With you look at the throng at the media table, the throng around, the Cowboys is not the same as the past years because there's so many other issues for people to talk about. And so Jerry's kind of had he just left, and certainly the media attacked him. With a number of cameras to talk about Washington and his feelings on, the sale in Washington. He talked about, certainly that $6 billion that they're putting up, they're bidding on. That's a good number. He would love to have it, but it's never going to happen because he's never selling the Cowboys.
Yeah, he ain't selling it. This thing makes his own money. He says, Chris 214, you think Mike will have enough creativity as Kellen? Shoot the shot, right? Use basketball as an analogy here. Just shoot the shot. Dribble with a purpose. Shoot the shot. Sometimes you can get too creative. When in a scheme, system that's put into place, you don't need creativity. Right? principles based, understanding the reason why you doing something. You don't need creativity. For example, I think someone was saying that, hey, Dak Prescott is terrible in deep passes. That's anecdotal, right? Because when you look up the stat line, he is the top 5 quarterback in the National Football League since entering 2016 in deep balls, right? The accuracy levels is probably right at top 3 since Tom Brady retired, right? Nevertheless, it's hard to throw a deep ball if you have 4 curls. Can you throw a deep ball on 4 curls? Right? One of the videos, close to 1 million views on my channel now, is Amari Cooper saying, hey, I'm tired of this stop route. Now, granted, Scott Linehan was the offensive coordinator, and the quarterback coach at that time was Kellen Moore. But what do you think that, or where do you think that Kellen Moore learned from, right? So what I'm saying, and this is not me giving Dak Prescott a pass, right? And we can go arguing back and forth with each other on how one quarterback got empty calorie stats or what have you. We've been back and forth with all of this in 2021, empty calorie stats, whereas those stats shouldn't be counted for the quarterback, right? Well, let me pull it up. These stats right here, let me see if I can blow it up big right here. Whereas, yeah, that's cool and all, Law, but, he didn't win a playoff game that year, right? And all of this goodness and graces come from the offensive coordinator, right? But here's the craziest thing. Nobody talked about touchdown to interception ratio this year because it wasn't the talking point. Nobody talked about passer rating. Nobody cared about, hey, 4th and touchdowns. Nobody really cared about, 4,449 yards, completion percentages of 69%. Why? Because it didn't fit the narrative. Garbage time stats, they still counted those things. And then they talked about, hey, can you win me the playoff game? And he didn't. Now, just last year, the guy have less numbers, more INTs, broken thumb, by the way. And now people are saying, hey, man, where the stats at? Where the stats at? He's a turnover machine. So on one end, people are saying stats are for losers. Stats are crazy. I just need the playoff win, right? And now you don't have the stats and you get the playoff win. And you say, well, do it again. He threw 2 INTs. You can't satisfy a Cowboy fan, right? You can't. Now, granted, a Super Bowl would be nice, but it goes back to this right here. It's tangible evidence right here. I can't make this stuff up. He's trash, Law. He's horrible. He's holding the team back. This is all Kellen Moore's doing. Well, we'll find out in a few months. Yes, indeed, we'll find out in a few months. But creativity, and I know Chris 214 is just asking a question. It's not directed at you, my dog, but creativity, I need schemes. I need things put into place. When there's quarters defense, we run the ball. We don't force the ball into double coverage. And if they do, then I want some chewing out from the coach to the quarterback. And we've seen Mike McCarthy do that before. To the great, legendary, Hall of Famer, the best quarterback in the last 15 years, Aaron Rodgers, right? Because that's what all y'all say, Aaron Rodgers, MVP back-to-back Aaron Rodgers. Stick to the philosophy and the scheme, right? Right. Oh, we got another super chat. We got from Glenn Caper says, if given truth serum and asks if the run is just as important as the pass, Kellen would say no. if Kyle Shanahan was asked, he would say yes. Right. Right. He would say yes. But here's how you got to do it. It's the yin and the yang. You got to have a well-balanced situation, and you got to understand that teams are scheming against you. They are trying to make you play left-handed. And at the same time, when you're right-handed, right, or vice versa. When have we ever done that? We know that Mike McCarthy is eligible to do that. We do know that. Right? We end up playing, and this was many moons ago. But y'all remember us going into Green Bay, playing Green Bay. I think they had to come down here. When they had their backup quarterback. We was up 28 to something or something on those boys. And it was against Mike McCarthy. They stuck to their philosophy. They stuck to their scheme. And they came out with the dub. I forgot that quarterback name. It's at the tip of my tongue. He fooled around, got him a big payday, and went over there to the Seattle land. What's that quarterback name? Y'all help me out. We were the better team that day. We had all of the weapons that day. Mike McCarthy had table scraps. Whooped all ASS all over the field. We was quiet. Flynn, yes, Glenn Capers. Matthew Flynn beat all butts. Matt Flynn beat all but. We were the better team. We had better weapons. We had the better defense. We had more creativity, I would say. You know? Coaches matter. Coaches do matter. Yeah, our offense was predictable. I'm just playing with y'all. But we still had a better team. And there's no way that you can paint with the same brush Mike McCarthy and Jason Garrett. There's no way. I refuse to say that those boys are equal. Now, I can say this. Clock management, that's been the Achilles heel of Big Mike McCarthy. You need to work on that. Not all coaches are flawless. Every coach got a flaw to them some way, one way or another. It's not a perfect coach. Right? Even Tom Landry. He was here for 30 years. We only got 2 Super Bowl rings, right? He's greatest coaches. He's one of the greatest coaches that probably ever walked in the NFL era, right? 2 rings out of 30 years. Not saying how many times he's been there, but you guys get what I'm saying. This thing is not as easy as most people would think. But the Mandela effect will have you guys thinking that we got 30 Super Bowls. We was in the Super Bowl every year. I hope Dak does become the top 10. That means he's going to get us those big wins during crunch time. Let's go. Law Nation, stand up. That's from JP. Appreciate you, JP. Appreciate you. Thank you for your support. Yeah.
Unfascinating day if there ever came to be. I know it's not going to happen, but obviously, I would just want to hear what the number would be if he ever decided to sell the Cowboys.
Yeah, if Washington $6 billion, the Cowboys are getting $10 billion.
At minimum, $10 billion for Jerry's Cowboys. Now, obviously, with us now less than a month away from the draft and looking at what other teams have done for you, have you gotten even a little bit more clarity from your perspective about what the Cowboys may be thinking at 26, or is it still a little bit early on based on what your observations have been so far?
Well, I mean, I think the best thing the Cowboys done, what they talked about doing is what they've done in free agency is they allowed themselves to be as pure as possible in the draft. And they don't necessarily have to take a certain position, you know, and what comes to them, they can take the best possible player at any position, so to speak. You know, obviously not taking a quarterback at 26, but yeah, those positions of need, they can take the best possible player. That could be an offensive lineman. Jerry said we could take an offensive lineman there. Certainly we know that could be a running back. That could be a receiver. That could be a cornerback. That could be a tight end, those type of positions. But, they're not honing in on any specific player because, you're kind of at liberty of what people pick in front of you.
No doubt you are in liberty. Question if this from Blake, and it's a good question right here. I really like that. Always like to stretch people's mind over here. I really appreciate you that, Blake. Let me see if I can pull it up on the screen here. All right. Players make coaches. Not one coach can make MJ, Kobe, or LeBron James. I feel you on that. And on top of that, here's what we got here, too. I feel you, but it's a two-way part to that conversation there. And let me see if we can go to another conversation. And I can't pull it up on the screen here. It may be saving you completely. But we can read what you said right here. If coaches made the players, how come Jimmy Johnson could not win with the Dolphins? How many, and let me ask you this, how many losing seasons did Jimmy Johnson had with the Dolphins? And what were they before he got there for 100? How many losing seasons did Jimmy Johnson have with the Dolphins? And what were their records before he got there? Riddle me that, okay? Because we want to know, Blake, I want to know from that thought track there. On top of that, when we think of it in these fashions right here, there was a movie that I always love to go back and use as a reference. I love to use this as a reference, too. A movie called Coach Carter. Who remember that movie based off of a true story, by the way? And on top of that, before I go into details of the Dolphins, Jimmy Johnson did win 2 playoff games with the Dolphins, right? How many or how much, if he won 2 playoff games with the Dolphins and we were to extrapolate that time frame, since that time frame, how many more do we have over Jimmy Johnson in that period since he left the Dolphins, right? I think that we only have one more playoff win than he did. You know what I'm saying? So that's even crazy, right? So if he have 2 championships, if he have 2 playoff wins just with the Dolphins, and since that time frame, we have a total of 3 or 4? We only have 2 more since he's been gone. And that's even with the Dolphins. That's crazy. That's crazy. That's crazy. That's crazy. Nevertheless, to that point, if you want to stand on that mound, right, are you saying that if you were to pick up Jimmy Johnson and have him as your coach and never have Barry Switzer? No. I tell you what, I'll use this as a reference. So, Blake, what you're saying basically is that if we were to have Jimmy Johnson since 1996 until now, that we would have still been on this drought of not having a Super Bowl. Is that what you're saying? Or not winning multiple games in the playoffs? Is that what you're implying? Because that's exactly what you're implying. That's what you're implying. That if we were to, let's say, for example, that in 1996, after we done won our Super Bowl, Jerry Jones said, you know what, I'm going to get Jimmy Johnson back. We had our fights. We disagree with each other, but we agreed to disagree. And now we're going to get Jimmy Johnson back, and we would have still been in the same drought. If y'all believe that, type yes. If y'all don't agree with that, type no. I want to know. And then I can use my analogy about Coach Carter. You know what I'm saying? No, yeah, I see some no's in there. I see some no's. So now that we are understanding the levels of conversation, Blake, you just stop it, right? Because I don't want people to attack you with your opinion. You see what I'm saying? Because now it's becoming less sustainable. So the only thing that would change is just be pure coaching. So we don't have to go back and forth of what Jimmy Johnson did at his stay at Dolphins, because he never had a losing season there, and he been to 2 or 3 playoff appearances. We haven't had back-to-back playoff appearances since, especially with plus 10 wins, since the 90s, right? Now, of course, we can count 06 and 07, and even no, Blake. You know, we are not attacking you. We just educating you. You know, we just informing you so that you can elucidate what we're saying and apply it to, hey, coaching do matter. Right? This is a study class now, right? This is a situation where now we are learning. Right? So I learn from you, you learn from me. It's a give, take, give. It's like the circle of life over here, right? You inform me of who you are, and I'm informing you of who we are, right? That's just what it is. Now, even if I see people look at Bill Parcells. Bill Parcells literally took a 5-11 team and managed to get to the playoff with Quincy Carter, right? Managed to find an undrafted quarterback by the name of Tony Romo to be on this team to get them to go to the playoff in 06. So even at his short stay, 3.5 years, right, that he managed to get to the playoff twine, right, coming off of a 5-11 team, right? And one can argue, even if you had Bill Parcells in 07, the team would have been more focused. The team would have been ready to play. And lo and behold, I'm quite sure the loose ends versus the Giants, that game wouldn't have happened. We probably would have been lifting up a Lombardi trophy then. But y'all know about Cupcake. Come on, baby. And another point that I have to squeeze out, in his full career coaching here, even Wade Phillips never had a losing season until the last year when he was 1-6. They were ready to can him. Why? Because they had their favors, right? They wanted Jason Garrett as that role. We bringing in Treadwell, laugh out loud. Come on, man, shaking up. Well, hey, he's camp body, right? So I appreciate y'all so much.
And
I forgot to go about Coach Carter. Let me talk about Coach Carter, right? It's one of my favorite movies. Based off of a true story, by the way. You know what I'm saying? They had the same players the year before, and they couldn't make it to the playoff game. They couldn't win anything. But when Coach Carter got there, he took the same group of men that everybody said that they can't stay focused, they in trouble, they can't perform, they got a little talent, but they don't know how to get over the pitfalls of life, etc. And Coach Carter, I want y'all to go watch that movie, was able to take the same group of men, flip them inside out, and able to bring forth purpose, bring forth change and understanding, and regroup a whole thought track and put in a popular culture where they hold each other accountable. Instead of when they wanted to shut down the school, when they wanted to lock up everything, and the principal wanted to override said coach, right? Because they saw the value of bringing attention and bringing in remuneration from the players, that he changed the culture so much that when everybody grade was falling and they wanted to take the locks off the gym and take the locks off the actual campus so that those boys can play, instead of those guys going and saying, hey, we're going to play because that is what all kids want to do, they all went into the library. They all studied. They all held each other accountable, not because they want to show off, because they wanted to play for their coach, and they knew that there was a two-way road to it, ladies and gentlemen. How often do we sit back and look at the Cowboys and say, for these last 15 years, don't have to go back too far, to say, hey, that these guys are willing to get it out of the mud for Jason Garrett. These guys are willing to go the extra yard for Jason Garrett, or these guys are willing to stay in the gym extra for even Kellen Moore. I can see that they do it for Dan Quinn now that's coaching. I can see that they're tangibly doing it a little bit now for even Mike McCarthy, since he is now in full control. There's one thing that I know for sure. There's one thing I know for sure, y'all. That Mike McCarthy been coached up on how to handle this situation. He's seen the whole Kellen Moore situation appearing before he arrived. And he said, you know what? In order to get to the Joneses, I have to show them that they are wrong without embarrassing them. Sometimes you will be in a situation in a moment that you think you're high and mighty, and you have to let them know. But you can't outshine the one above you. Sometimes you just got to let them fall into their own traps. Patience is everything. We talk about even in circles, even with a job. Let me talk federal jobs. Let me talk federal jobs. There's GS levels. It doesn't matter. You can come in with 2 or 3 degrees, but what's your grade level? Have you been within the confines of your grade long enough? Now, in certain situations, you can leapfrog, but you as a GS5 or a GS6, after you serve your time in grade, then you can start applying. They're not finna let you jump from a GS5 all the way to a GS12, just like that. What's your time in grade? Look at the levels of competition that you got within the confines of your grade. You're going to have to go through that process regardless. You're going to have to go through that year. You're going to have to go through that year. You're going to go through that year. It may seem as if though you may know more than the person that's a GS9. You may know more than the person that's a GS11. But you're going to have to sit and wait your time. Unfortunately, life is similar to that situation. You can know a person that can get you ahead, but you still got to go through the natural processes. But there will be 2 types of people. There will be people to say to themselves they're stuck at that spot, that they can't never get or advance out of that spot, and they'll stay miserable. And when the opportunity is there, they've been such in a complacent spot, job security, they're happy to a degree, and they're mad at the same situation, and they never advance themselves while they're in that spot. And if 5 years, 10 years passes by, the same person that entered in with you, that other person was applying themselves, going back, getting more and more knowledge, more and more certificates, going through all of the rigmarole, and then you look back, that person is at a higher level than you. Same set of knowledge came in at the same time. Now this person is on the 12th level, and you still on the 5th and the 6th level. And you notice those that's down there, they pull others down with them. And they start sullying and denigrating and talking about the person that worked themselves up to that higher level. Shoot. There's no shortcuts to success, is what I'm saying. And sometimes you got to sit back and allow those pitfalls to occur, but at the same time stack up your information, your knowledge, and then on top of that, you can get to that next level. But you can't get there if you never applied it. And the Cowboys, organization and franchise, one of the Achilles heels they've been taking someone that's qualified from a GS5 or a GS6 level and say, hey, here's a GS13, here's a GS14, unclassified, unsupervised. You got that level. They ain't even ready. And the person that's been sitting there waiting, sitting there like, God dog, look how long it took me to get there. A third of you guys would never understand it. Y'all would never understand it. All right, shout out to you, Action Powell. Appreciate you. Yeah. He said, read the, yeah, I brought that one up. Oh, you brought up another one. Here we go. Boom. Law, truth be told, we have been suffering since Moss. Well, one can argue that it could have been way before that time frame, but I appreciate you for your love and adulations. Purdy is weak. I mean, shout out to Brock Purdy for whatever he's doing or been doing or what have you. But, you know, I don't think he's going to be able to even play this season due to his injury.
And so they're open, and they're, because of what they've done in free agency, they don't have to force a need, force a position. They can take the best player at any number of positions at 26.
Speaking of some of their best players on this team, I want to get your thoughts on this because I think it's been an underrated subject discussed this offseason. But Trayvon Diggs is going into a contract year. Do you think it would be a mistake for the Cowboys not to get a contract done with him this offseason before letting him go into free agency next year?
Well, what I understand is that, and this is something that I have gleaned, that they want to get either one of Trayvon Diggs or CeeDee Lamb done this offseason. They would like to do that. You take your pick, but they don't want both of them. They want to be able to get one of those two done this offseason. Of course, in addition to possibly doing something with Dak. But as far as those two guys, they would like to get one of Diggs or Lamb done this offseason.
Which one would you choose?
Probably Lamb.
Okay. Why so? I'm interested in this. Why so?
Yeah, I mean, because I think that we I don't want to put this, you know, I think that the Diggs number could be tricky. You know, which Diggs we getting? We getting the Diggs from last year or getting Diggs from this year?
Okay.
Which one are you paying?
Well, I got to disagree with my guy, but here's my thoughts with the Trayvon Diggs versus Lamb. Lamb, you got the fifth-year option. You don't have that availability with Trayvon Diggs. And I think that even from a price point, Diggs may be a slight cheaper than Lamb right now. And I think that while he's at his considered low end, re him up now. Because what will happen, he may get more INTs this season juxtaposed what he had last year. Why? He's going to get more opportunities. If Gilly, I'm using the operative word, if Gilly stays healthy and play every game, I think teams going to 9 times out of 10 target Trayvon Diggs. And if this dude get 4 or 5 INTs or even 6 or 7, that price of that bag is going to go even higher, right? So I would just take care of the one that don't have the fifth-year option. And I'm not saying you got to put CeeDee Lamb on that fifth-year option, by the way. But at least it carries a little bit more weight of this guy is guaranteed to be here juxtaposed to Trayvon Diggs. You don't want him to enter in the free market, right? You don't want him to go test the market, et cetera. And it goes back and forth to even philosophies. I can use Lamar Jackson, for example, 2019 MVP Lamar Jackson, by the way. What they're using against him now, they don't want to pay said guy certain money. And I'm quite sure that the NFL owners don't like when players are representing themselves, right? Because there's less communications with said person that's representing them, or I think Lamar Jackson, his mom is representing him, right? They don't like that because there's no way, whereas it's harder work for the owners when they got to deal with the person that's independent versus the person that got a team, because they can throw favors. I'm saying favors. They can throw favors. I can't talk today. Let me just take a sip. Hold on. They can throw favors at a person that's representing a group of guys. Law, do you have any truth to this? Well, here it is right here. If I'm Todd France, I'm using Todd France as an example. He got Dak Prescott as his client. He also got Pat Mahomes as his client. And let's say, for example, he have a multitude of other guys as his client, right? That I'm not going to name names. And the Cowboys negotiating with Todd France about the contract situation. They can call Todd France in for an anonymous guy, right? And have a conversation with him. But real talk, they really want to talk to him about that person. And they can throw a favor in for him and say, hey, even though this anonymous guy is not worth $5 or $6 million, we're going to sweeten the pot by giving him that $5 or $6 million. I scratch your back, you scratch my back. But when you got somebody that's representing themselves, you can't do that. It makes it harder for you to negotiate, right? It makes it harder. And then on top of that, with the whole situation with Lamar Jackson, they've said that, hey, he's been injured. So that's why we really don't want to take a real good look at him, because he's been injured. And Lamar Jackson is going to the streets, the Twitter streets, saying X, Y, and Z, right? Because his agent can't speak for him, right? Or refuse to speak for him because it's his mom, I believe, right? It muddies the water. Whereas if he was signed under an agency, that agency do all of the talking, he can continue to do whatever he need to do, and he don't have to go back and forth, no feelings on the table, etc. And when crazy things talked about with injuries and stuff, then the agent can say, hold on, before you leak that out to my client, Jimmy Garoppolo been hurt for the last 4 years, and he got a starting quarterback offer for a whole new team. So you got to take that injury stuff off. You can't talk and sully and denigrate my client like that. No. I'm going to smear your name all over the world for doing such, right? So that's why it's so important to have someone to be an advocate of you, right, versus you being it. You know, so it is what it is. But I would go ahead and pay Trayvon Diggs before Lamb.
I mean, I like the dude that's picking off the football. That's the one I want to pay, the one that's picking off the football.
Okay, which Diggs are you getting? You know?
Do you have now? Sorry, to follow along this whole train of thought. Do you have any concerns like that? It might get a little contentious if they do not get Trayvon Diggs done sooner rather than later.
Oh, I think it could get contentious, but I mean, probably not this year, maybe next year. But when he's free, but I don't think that there's any issue with Diggs coming to camp and being available for them.
He must not know the Diggs family.
Okay. All right. Before I let you go, what's a hot take or a sports take that you want to, let off your chest before we let you get out of here? Some of Lamar Jackson. You want to congratulate Rodney Terry? Like, what's a take you got to get off your chest real quick?
Yeah.
No. All right. So that's my guy, Clarence Hill. Appreciate my guys over there. Phenomenal show, man. It's Clarence Hill Jr. Be sure to check those boys out. There's a link to 105.3 The Fan is in the chat, and you can go there to watch the full video in its total T there. All right, so what we're going to do here is this is brought to you by the Underdog Fantasy, and the Underdog Fantasy is allowing you to win up to $10 million. I only got like one little deal. If you win that money, hit your boy up, right? Hit your boy up with the hotline money there. You know what I'm saying? I ain't too proud to beg about it. You know what I'm saying about it? So what I like to do is get your thoughts, get your opinions of the matter, and we can talk. We can freestyle it, whatever you want to talk about, and let's go. Let's get it. 657 390 7391. That's the Underdog hotline for your mind. And we'll match up to $100. You know what I'm saying? That's all I got. I don't got a whole bunch. I only got a few. So we'll match up to $100, ladies and gentlemen. That link will be pinned to the top of the page. The phone line for your mind. Matter of fact, I got someone at the front door, so y'all listen to this song while I go check out my front door. Hit my line, baby. Keep it super thug my way on this side. Keep it super thug my way on this side. Call my phone, hit my line. Only ones who down for real, down for life. Keep it super thug my way on this side. Keep it super thug my way on this side. Heard you moving funny, had to cut you off. Had some more friends like my brothers, I can't trust it all. Same ones in your corner wanna see you fall. Now I only need a hand to count the ones who ball with me. Down to fall with me. Down to put it on the line when lose or draw with me. Those my brothers, different mothers, part of par with me. Got the Bonnie to my class, she break the law with me. Call my phone, hit my line. Only ones who down for real, down for life. Keep it super thug my way on this side. Keep it super thug my way on this side. Call my phone, hit my line. Only ones who down for real, down for life. Keep it super thug my way on this side. Keep it super thug my way on this side. Damn. Nowadays, nothing really excites me. Only one of me and nobody's like me. Phone ringing and I tell him it's ice. I got wifey on bling and she icy. Freeze, photo, please, no photos. No, G's, no, please, no photos. Hit the door and the domain just whole team here might need some. Still young, but I move like a veteran. New deal to my lawyer to if you're down in my management, I'm just warming up, wait till I old producer saw the numbers one. Different colors in my baggy light. Chalk it up, talk of the town when you're talking up. Wanna get you a ring and you tough enough. Wanna get you new things when your pockets dull. Run it up. I used to be quiet and out of luck. Now I move up and move humble cause the hate and the jealousy. My mama telling me count up your blessings and run it up. Nowadays nothing really excites me. Only one of me and nobody's like me. Phone ringing and I tell him it's ice. I got wifey on bling and she ice. Freeze, photo, please, no photos. No, G's, no, please, no photos. I keep giving game away. I put game on layaway. I got paid to play today. I get paid to stay away. I get paid on rainy days. I might make it rain today. I got paid off pain today. Thought it'd take the pain away. In my own lane, finger roll. I would never sell my only soul. Heard your whole team was for sale. Heard it's on the market for the low. Who the realest, we might never know. All right, I'm back. My landscaping crew came through. Now you're looking hungry, ribs are touching, need some food. Now you're all on live like
yes,
this, surprise, but you was food. Boy, get out the way, it's been a day. Now you're old participants in the conference.
Yes, indeed. All right, so I got my guy from the 469, man. It is Chris 214. You live?
Yes, sir. It's me.
Yes, indeed, man. Talk
How's
to
it going?
me. Oh, man, all is well. All is well.
Good. Well, I just got through listening to the final word that y'all did like a couple days ago.
What?
Man, if y'all haven't seen it, that is great content. I commend y'all to go out there and watch it. But I was listening to what you and I think Boss Cowboy was saying about the two kings, about how Dan Quinn, ever since he got here, he's been doing whatever he wants with the defense, and it's paying off. Well, now Mike McCarthy, I believe that this is his year to start doing that. So it's like, man, it's like I feel like everything is in order to go all the way. It's still early, but I'm liking the off season. I'm liking everything, man. Honestly, and my only question, because I'm at work.
You good?
My only question is, what about this Terence Steele thing? Like, how is all this going to play out?
Man, this is what I want for the Cowboys, and I hope that the Cowboys are doing. I hope that the Cowboys are only doing this to be a smokescreen, right? I hope that they are doing it that way. But a part of me is the Cowboys is trying to be the smartest person in the room. That's what they're trying to do. They're trying to be the smartest person in the room and say, hey, we took an undrafted guy, and he's phenomenal at right tackle. Now we're going to take that undrafted guy and slide him inside at guard, and he's going to be a phenomenal guy at that spot. Because of Mike Solari's scheme, he needs a guy that can pull and get out in space. Why not use Terence Steele at that spot, and then we can go draft a Dawan Jones, right, at right tackle and put him in, and we straight. We good. And it was just fluff of us saying that Tyron Smith is going to be your new right tackle once again. Nah. That's what we hope that the Cowboys are trying to do here.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, I got to get going. Hey, man, y'all have a good day. Law Nation, you have a good day. This our year.
This our year, man. Appreciate you, bro. Thank you so much for calling in. That's Chris 214. Yeah. Yes, indeed. So you guys get with what I'm saying, right? Is we can only hope that that's what their plans and ideals would be, that they looked at Terence Steele and said, you know what, we're going to slide him back inside. Mike Solari need athletic guards. They can pull, got good feet. They can get out in space. And we see that Terence Steele is flexible enough. He's not going to be a guy that complain, and this is a situation for us to expound on that and kick him on the left side. So that's the only thing I can say from there. I got Coach Marv, then we have Lady Trey. But Coach Marv from the 803, you're live.
What's going on, Law?
Not much.
Hey, first I wanted to say something about the Terence Steele thing. There's no overreact to that. Position flex, cross training comes back to what I was thinking. Yes, Terence Steele is a good right tackle, a very good right tackle. Excellent. I've been pushing for him ever since when he went through a 5-game stretch, because it's not a fluke when you do that right. Well, and he kept continuing to move on. But let's don't kill the idea of him being a guard. I think sometimes and I'm talking in the coach's stand here.
Right.
Yes, he plays right tackle, but if you start this process early, it's different than when you say, well, we're going to start this process when the season starts and flip him over there now. You got time to see if that works out, if it doesn't work out. As and you may be surprised. You might be surprised, because he's definitely a great athlete, and he's definitely physical, and he's a mauler.
Right.
So that's you're not going to lose that at all. And sometimes when guys have a knee injury, they may be thinking about it might hinder him early being a dancing bear out there. So just know that we got good linemen, and they're gonna put him in the right spot. And it's early, so you got when he gets healthy, you got time to do all those type things and check all those things out. And that's what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to make that decision what you're going to try at this particular time. This is where you brainstorm these type things. You don't wait till the season starts and then start trying to have to brainstorm. You want to at least look at it so you'll know. When you do it, you'll know. So that's he's probably going to be right tackle. But if they want to try him regardless, that's fine. That's just how you work things. And this is a young guy, so this is not a guy that's been in the league 13, 14 years, and then we say, okay, now we want to try something else. We just trying that, and if it doesn't work, then you can move on. But when you have that amount of talent, you're trying to maximize that talent in that room too, because you never know when someone might get hurt. And I think they're really moving people around because they need guards. Because Zach Martin may go down, and then you still may have to do some adjustment. So
well, to that degree,
yeah.
Shouldn't they say, well, and I'm just playing devil's advocate, Coach, Zach Martin,
right.
He's a right guard, but let's just put him at left tackle. Let's just see if he can play that left tackle role, or let's see if we can slide him at right tackle, right? And we just give him some reps. Yeah, wait a minute.
Yeah,
but I get what you said. I'm just being devil's advocate.
13, 14 years, I'm not going to move. Not an old guy.
Not an old guy.
I'm not trying to keep him up with an old guy that may blow a tire because he's trying to get learn that new movement. Young guys can, it's just like in anything else, young guys have quicker learning patterns than when you start getting the guy that's been playing the spot for 12 years.
But do you agree with my guy from the Lando show? Just go ahead and keep Tyron at left tackle, keep Tyler at left guard, and just keep everything the same, as your best five.
Right, and this is when they say they're trying to play your best five, it's depending on who they draft. They draft the tackle. They're still gonna feel their best five is whoever. If they draft the tackle in that first, they're still gonna feel their best five is gonna be that guy they draft in the first, and Steele is still part of their best five. So you need to find a spot for Terence Steele.
Here's my thoughts. Here's my thoughts on this, Coach. There's no doubt in my mind that Terence Steele can probably play anywhere on that offensive line, minus being a center, right? So there's no doubt in my mind with that. But also within the conversations, I just think that if you coming off of an injury, right, the expectations still from the fan perspective is that they're going to want greatness. No, there's no patience levels with this fan base. Just like even with Michael Gallup, right? There were no patient levels with the fan base. He dropped a pass. He looked hot one week, looked cold the next week. People are going to look at Michael Gallup. Oh, he's trash. Oh, he's not good. Oh, but they're not accounting that this guy is coming off of an ACL. He's recovered, didn't have OTAs, training camp, preseason, and you rushed him out there. And his spot for the team originally was the third option, and now he's promoted to being the second option. And I mean, we got exactly what we wanted, an up and down player, right?
Right. But this will make great coaches. See, the
Can't
great
run from
coaches in the NFL don't care.
Yeah.
The great coaches in the NFL don't care what fans say. Oh, well, we believe so and so. They coach the team. Bill Belichick don't care what the fans say. He understands that I'm in this team. We know what we're trying to do, and that's why he brushed it off. Cal Shanahan don't really care with the fans. Oh, we're going to get ready to switch up a quarterback. Hey, Cal Shanahan say, we're going to do what we do. You need to go get another quarterback. I got Brock Purdy. I'm going to make him be serviceable to win. The real good coaches that are confident in their skin, right?
Right.
They don't allow. You got to be very careful. You can't let fans motivate your moves because then their fans. You are in that room. You are with these guys. You are practice these guys. This is what you see. They're probably experts in seeing these guys play day in and day out and what they can handle and what they can't handle. So really sometimes the decisions have to be made from a coach's point of view because they're in that room and they're not just looking at one bad play or two bad plays and judging the guy on those type things. They're judging it for the overall of what they see in a guy. Just like if we were worried about the fans, Terence Steele have been cut from this team and gone a long time ago.
In 2020,
we were killing him. Yeah, so, but that's, that's just why, being a leader of men, that's the way we coaching. And when you're talking to the other guy, I always say like this, great players can't take bad coaching. And that came from one of the two top coaches, and one of the top coaches in college, and one of the top winningest coaches in the NFL, and that's Nick Saban and Bill Parcells. And if you want to know anything about coaching, watch the art of coaching by those two, and they tell you that, listen. And I say that for the PlayStation era, and I'm not saying this guy's PlayStation era, but I want to relate to the PlayStation and the fantasy football people. I've seen guys on PlayStation that have all the talent when they have the star, have all the talent.
Yeah.
But know who the real coaches of the game is? When you play that game, you get all the talent. It's the guy that's controlling the joystick.
Ooh, that's a
so
philosophy
when you pick those guys in fantasy football,
yeah.
When you pick those guys in fantasy football, it's about the guy that picked the guys and put the guys in the game and manages his roster that pick the right guys and put them to score the points. So in actual fact, you're making coaching decisions when you're playing these games and doing those type things, because you could have all the greatest players, but you can't control the joystick good enough. A team that has less players will beat you every time. So that's what I'm saying. That's where you said it's a mixture between the athlete and the coach, and they bring each other to the top. And to win a Super Bowl, organizations win Super Bowls, not players, not coaches. Organizations win Super Bowls. The Dallas are doing their job as an organization now.
You on fire with it, Coach.
That's right. The Cowboys top brass are doing their part at this particular time. Then they're going to say, okay, we got the groceries, right? Now we're going to turn over when we get to training camp, mini camps, and all that, for the coaches to do their job to get them to the point of putting them in the right spot. But it really ultimately comes down to the players got to make the plays, and they got to challenge themselves to be better than what they have been before. So that's why I say that we got to challenge our players to be better than what they've been before. I will say this right quick, Law. I tweeted out there to Michael Parsons. I know he probably ain't looked at it. I just, follow him and put a thing out there. But I'm putting a challenge out to Michael Parsons because I know he's a lion. But I want that lion to be a GOAT. I want him to be the greatest of all time. And I challenged him in that tweet that says, I want to see him do something that nobody else in the NFL does. I don't want to see him be compared to Bosa or J.J. Watt with just sacks, and because those numbers be 1 or 2 off, whatever. But I want to see Michael Parsons have 125 tackles, 17 sacks, and 3 interceptions in the season. Something that had never been done in the NFL history. And I believe he's an athlete enough to do that. And that's going to be a linebacker / defensive end, but that means he's going to be on the field 80% of the plays, and he's going to affect teams in the run game, the passing game, sacking. He will be a problem all over the field. That's my challenge to that lion, for him to be a GOAT. And I'm not saying that to be in a bad term. You have to challenge our young players to be better, to be that person that they say they want to be. But I'm challenging him to do something that's never been done before. 125 tackles, 17 sacks, 3 interceptions. That means he affects all levels of the field.
Let's get it, man. I appreciate you, Coach Marv. Man.
Hey, Coach. Look up Coach. Y'all having y'all draft show.
Coach, yeah.
That might be the diamond in the rough. We get him in 4th or 5th round. Law, this kid, his background and his measurables are off the chart. 6'7", 4'5", 540, 40-inch vertical.
Yeah. Yes, indeed. That tight end is amazing. Most certainly. I appreciate you, Coach Marv, man. Hey, y'all, put y'all hands together for Coach Marv, man. Hey, organizations, man, because it's one of is. Woo! Let me say this right quick, man. And shout out to you, Blake. You can call in if you want. He said that Nick Saban didn't win in Miami, right? And at the time, we can all go back and forth about what Coach Marv said, right? Leaders of man, sometimes your impressions goes a long way, influences go a long way too, by the way. So when you are a coach, on certain levels, your influence level may not be up to snuff. Even if you are saying the right things, you got to have people to buy in to what you're saying. In Alabama, their organization fits Nick better than the situation that he was in Miami. Could Nick eventually win something in Miami? The answer to that is yes. It's a big maybe. It's a big maybe, but it's a yes. Would it been the same turnaround time? We can tell you the answer to that is no. He would have had to have been there for more and more years, juxtaposed to the small sample size that he was there at, to establish his philosophy, to rip down the culture, etc. So culture means a lot. Look, Coach Marv just brought up a brilliant point about comparison. Comparison is the thief of all joy, because from one end, you may say, hey, I would like for this coaching staff to be like Jimmy Johnson, right? But Jimmy Johnson was Jimmy Johnson in his own way. Did he win the Super Bowl his first year? No. Did he win the Super Bowl his second year here? No. His third year? No. But we've seen some growth aspects of it, right? But if you start comparing and then you start saying that, hey, this guy is not, then you never gave a chance for that guy to get there. Just like when we said even about the whole situation and scenario a couple of weeks ago, when we were looking at the stat lines, I held side by side Dak Prescott stats and the great, legendary Peyton Manning stats in the first 7 years. The numbers were identical, very much so. Some categories, Dak Prescott was very similar to even Peyton Manning. Both of those boys in their first 7 years playing the same amount of games were both 2-4 in the playoff. Numbers mirroring each other. But a third of the people said, but Dak is still trash. Different era, right? Different situation. But just like Peyton Manning 2-4 in the first 7 years, Dak Prescott. Is Dak Prescott and Peyton Manning the same person? No. You can't compare someone's chapter 7 to another person's chapter 18, etc. But what most people would do is, with the Mandela effect, they will only look at one side of it and they would say, hey, Dak Prescott would never become who Peyton Manning is. But Dak Prescott didn't get a chance to even solidify the rest of his resume. We don't know. He still have a chance and opportunity to expound on those numbers and get even better. Or he can fall flat on his face and be even worse. But the ideal is to look at those numbers and see where this person could be, but not saying that this person is. And there are so many people who put false narratives and things in my mouth and say that, well, Law is saying that Dak Prescott is better. Case in point, it was cool when Peyton Manning was doing his thing to compare him to Dan Marino and John Elway, right? And nobody said different eras, right? It was all cool. It was all great and wonderful. But it's bad now to do it because people are in their feelings. And I have yet to this day found somebody that can out-debate me with that logic speaking right there. I can't. Because they did. So when those records were being broken by Brett Favre, by Tom Brady, or by even Peyton Manning, no one was yelling like, hey, Joe Montana, different era, y'all. Hey, Dan Marino, it was a different era, y'all. It was a different era. But now it's cool to say that these things are now different eras. I digress. I got Trey from the 901. You're live.
Hey.
Hey.
By the way, Law, you rocking them specs, honey. You look too professional today. But anyway.
I appreciate it.
Well, Coach Marv, I love you. I mean, you're a great coach. But when you talk about the Lion like that, Like, you can't want this man to have all of that, like, in one season. Like, none of them will ever do that. That won't happen. Now, what I will say happened, he done already told everybody how he gonna be this year. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He was a bucket. You know what I'm saying? He did what he did the first 2 years. Just check him out this year.
Yeah.
What people don't realize, this new coach that we have for our offense, everybody's going to see the difference. They're going to see Dak using them legs. I just think our team is set. Jerry Jones has bought our Super Bowl. We're going to have one this year. We got this. I want everybody to just calm down. It's a wrap, y'all. It's a wrap. Look at the rest of these teams. They going through this. They going through that. Cowboys ain't going through nothing. You don't even hear the rah-rah about Zeke being let go no more. It's over with, y'all. This a whole nother team, whole nother coach staff. Quinn got it on lock. Our defense, they don't even touch nothing on our defense. We got our defense on lock. Yeah. It's the offense. So the question I'm asking you, Law, is, okay, so you don't think that our offense is like, we ready now since they kept Steele, you know what I'm saying? We still got both of the Tyrons, you know what I'm saying? And so you don't think that we ready? We got Haskins, right? They brought him back, right?
They brought Big Boy back. Yeah, Hankins, he's
okay.
back. So on this sheet of paper, I think that we are better than what we were last year. Just off the sheet of paper alone, right? I'm still with the belief. I'm taking it one day at a time. I know I'm going to tell you guys Super Bowl. I'm always going to be optimistic. But when I go into analyst law, I'm taking it one day at a time, one game at a time, one win at a time. Yeah.
And that's what I'm saying. And I hear a lot of people, well, that better be so-and-so. First and foremost, when all these people get through talking about Dak being trash, we went 12. No, let me take it back. We went 13-5, or is it 13-6? However, because we did win our playoff game.
Yeah.
So at what point Dak was so sorry? I mean, I'm just trying to get there because we know Kellen Moore handicapped Dak. We know that. He would not let Dak use them legs. He'd rather for Dak to throw than to use his legs. It won't be that case. That's why Mike McCarthy then took over, and this new coach we got, y'all gonna be like, hold up, we didn't even know Dak can do that. Yeah, he can do it. I've seen him do it. It just was limited. And that's why I don't understand where everybody else ain't looking at. We got a great quarterback. Don't sit up and say my quarterback trash, because he's not trash. And we're going to show everybody this year who the Cowboys really made of, because the weakest link is gone. And he took the rest on.
Let's get it. I feel you on that. I think the world of this team, we just going to have to add some more and more pieces. And anything that we add to it now is all going to be about the iron sharpen iron. And in every category, right? Even offensive line. So, yeah, I appreciate you for calling in, Trey.
You're so welcome. Y'all have a great day. Thank you. How about them Cowboys?
How about them from the 901? Hope all is well where she's at and that state over there in Tennessee. You guys give it what she's saying, right? And you're going to have different points of views, right? Like right now, on paper, we got the best DB room out there. On paper, we have the better linebacker units out there. On paper, the better defensive front. And for the offensive side of the coin, we have a great unit as it relates to what we can become with the wide receivers if two wide receivers stay healthy. Well, all three of those guys stay healthy, right? I think that we still should reevaluate the offensive line and also relook at the wide receiver room. And for those who say anything about the quarterback, if you having your reservations, et cetera, there's nothing wrong with drafting a quarterback. So you still should leave no stone unturned. You can still look at a quarterback, drafting one, and seeing whether or not he can elevate that room, right? and leave no stone unturned. That's why you're supposed to do a little dibbing and a little dabbing here on offense, defense, and special teams during the free agency. And then when you get into the draft, you can go with a clear conscience, right? BPA all day. So, yeah, that's how I look at it. All right, I got from the 281, Charles, you are in charge. You're live.
How's it going, my man?
All is well, man. Holler at me, man. Talk to me.
Just want to calm down, DC Nation, whenever on the first day, Jerry out there in Phoenix talking about Terence Steele is a great depth piece. Week 1 in September, Terence Steele will be starting right tackle. Our new offensive line coach, if he has any brains at all, will see that, of course. I mean, like Coach Amar said, he's a mauler. We want to run the ball more this season. He's the best run-blocking right tackle we've had since maybe Mark Colombo, I guess. I still think he's got the talent, the chance to become, like Big E, but he'll be at right tackle. We if it comes to left tackle and they want fast guards, Tyler Smith can play both. They could put Ty Smith at left tackle, Tyler at left guard. It'd be nice to have Peters as, the backup left tackle, but I think he's done. Hopefully we'll let's go. Or somebody in the draft could be a good swing tackle. Or that one cat that we signed, Adoga, how do you say his name?
Chuma.
He's pretty much, he can play all around the line. Center, I believe. But, on paper, we've gotten better, like you said. And to Queen, Dak is a great bus driver, great game manager. And he can light it up, just like he did against Philly when he put up 40. But he can't do that in back-to-back weeks. I mean, have you seen Dak, 3 games in a row, ball like that? He has the capability, but he's a great bus driver, great game manager, top-notch. And I believe that's how we're going to run our offense this year. Not have him throwing 40 times a game. Because, Kellen Moore, the college he came from, was air raid offense, throw the ball every down. So that's pretty much all he knew. When Cooper Rush was in the game, we, stuck to the run, played defense. Defense, was rested because we ran the ball effectively. And then when Dak came back in, it's like Kellen Moore just got away from the game plan. And, when Dak throws the ball 40 times, 50 times a game, not good. So one question for you.
Go ahead.
I think I've got a good feeling.
In closing,
in closing, after June 1st, after Elliott figures out nobody's going to really pay him more than we're going to pay him, that he's going to come back home for maybe a 1-year, $2 million deal, something like that. You think he will or not?
I think he will. I think that offer may be even smaller than $2 million if you look at what Hankins got, and it may be 1.5 with incentives, especially him being out there in the market for that long of a time and no one really taking a look at that. But it could be this too. A lot of teams like to wait till after the draft to see who they get, and if they don't like it, or if they want to bring in a guy with veteran experiences who had 12 touchdowns last season, then why not take a look at Zeke? But that could be the situation there from Ezekiel Elliott's standpoint.
He's made the second most money of any running back in NFL history, so he's made his money, so he just wants that ring. He wants to play for a contender.
Right.
Or about as good a contender as you can get with, especially as wide open as the NFC is this season. So, but yeah, everybody keep y'all's head up. Terence Steele will be right tackle. Don't worry. If he's not, that's just
smoke and mirror. Hey, man, I appreciate you so much, Charles. Can you let people know where to find and follow you? I got your Twitter message about doing the show together. Nevertheless, you can let people know right now where to find and follow you so they can help grow your platform and everything.
Yes, you can't forget the name Charles in Charge, guys. It's Cowboy Sports Report by Charles in Charge. My first game I watched was Super Bowl 28 against Buffalo in the Georgia Dome. I fell in love, don't know why. And ever since then, from the 94 season on, I've watched every play of every game. In law, like I said, you inspired me to get this thing going. I saw you started yours in 2013, and I was like, man, it's totally up my alley. So I'm loving what I'm doing, and I just appreciate you for you doing what you're doing. and inspire me to start my own. You know what I'm saying?
No doubt.
It takes true fanatics to do what we do.
No doubt. I appreciate you, Charles. You have a good day and a better tomorrow.
You too, brother. All right. Thanks.
That's a good call from him. Yeah, 2013. If I could change anything, I would have started doing content on this channel in 2013. But for 3 years, I had a YouTube page and I didn't post a single video until 2016. So if I had any regrets with my YouTube career, it would be that I should have posted something. But it all speaks a story. In 2013, I was watching my guy Shango Heavy. I was watching some of the my guy Simon. He's out there still doing his thing, trash talking circles. And I didn't post a single video until like 2016-ish, around that time frame. Lo and behold, I should have started out earlier. So if any advice to anybody that do content creations, you don't need a fancy camera. You don't need sound equipment. You just need your thoughts, your opinion, whether you're right or wrong, and a cell phone, and just talk, right? And then you get better as time go by, right? So shout out to Shango. Shout out to all of those who came before me. And let's continue to grind. And look how much this platform done changed. It's been sullied and watered down by these big companies jumping over to this side. But it goes to show that, hey, you continue to do things. Now we're seeing Stephen A. Smith with a hoodie on. I said, man, that dude look like Law now. You know what I'm saying? He got the hoodie on, No Mercy show. He's going raw into the situation. Look like he don't have his clip notes together, but it is what it is. See, we doing things enough that the big ladder, the 4-ladder, the 3-ladder network, they trying to come down to where we at, And the whole time they getting canned, they getting axed, they getting canceled, and we just doing it out of love, And there's nobody that can counsel us. We already here, right? So shout out to for the independency, right? Shout out to the people that can stand tall by themselves and we will not be tainted by the big ladder networks or what have you with our thoughts. I got the 832. You live.
Yo, Lord, what's good? What's good?
Nothing to it, man. Talk to me, man, from the 832. Who I'm speaking with, by the way?
Oh, excuse me, sir. This is Mark, man. I drive trucks right now.
Mm-hmm.
I am on my way into Marietta, Georgia.
Okay.
Just want to holler at you and holler at the nation. Love what you do, brother. And love all your content. Love the family. And we all down as Cowboys. I'm going to say this and get off your phone, listen to you talk. Look, man, I'm as big a Dak Prescott fan as anybody, and he frustrates me from time to time, too. What I will say is that, hey, look, man, at some point in time, it really does matter. You can put the numbers up about Peyton Manning, and that tells you a lot right there about the kind of quarterback that Dak Prescott is.
Right.
Right there, just making that comparison, even though Dak's chapters aren't written yet.
Yeah, he's not finished yet. Yeah,
he ain't even finished yet.
Yeah.
It's a lot of times, man, it's about who's coaching you. Can you imagine how unfair it is to have a Patrick Mahomes being coached by somebody like Andy Reid?
Oh, my God, yeah.
That's insane. That's insane. That is unfair. That's unfair.
Yeah.
Andy Reid's knowledge, Andy Reid's understanding of how to call a game, how to scheme together a game, how to adjust in the middle of a game.
Right.
Watch them do that in the Super Bowl. To have that kind of knowledge in a talent like Patrick Mahomes' ear, that's why you can't beat him. Patrick Mahomes would still be Patrick Mahomes on 29 other teams in the league. But would he be winning the way that he's winning with that head coach in his ear over there?
I mean, shoot.
I would love it. I'm going to Mike McCarthy said something at these meetings up there about keeping it simple and doing things in this way. And I'm not going to get into the X's and O's.
Right.
For me, what I would love to see and what we never saw when Jason Garrett was here and what we never saw between Kellen Moore and Dak Prescott was communication.
Yeah.
Game.
Yeah.
Dak would always go grab that damn circus tab and go sit down by himself when a mistake was made.
Yeah.
Right? He would always stand up at the podium and he'd take the bullet. When somebody called him a booty play or he'd be the one up there. He was on an island by himself.
Right.
Just like Tony Romo was. Dak Prescott hadn't had an offensive coordinator, quote unquote, since Tony Romo left.
Yeah.
I would love to see if Mike McCarthy can get into Dak's ear.
I think he's trying. I think he's trying. Yeah. According to that, to that report, he sat down with Dak. They went over all of the interceptions. They went over everything, and they're trying to get better. And that's what good coach is supposed to do. You know, try to get your players better so they can be on the same page.
Exactly. Get your hands on that offensive coach, and get your hands on your quarterback.
Yeah.
I don't care who's calling the plays. I need the coach. If he's an offensive coach, man, you got you a quarterback. Make sure your quarterback is thinking like you think. Y'all can argue. You see Patrick Mahomes and Eric Bieniemy, they be over there arguing all the time.
Yeah. You want to see some of that, and that's one of the things that I want to see more. I want to see them hold Prescott a little bit more accountable, and let it be publicly. You know, on some of his decisions.
Let it be in the middle of the game, and not to chastise. People want to run Dak down. No, it's to get Dak's mind on. This is how we win the game. Kellen Moore was calling plays. Yep. Mike McCarthy's trying to win games. That's a difference. That's a big difference. And a coach with experience and knowledge and knows what he wants to do, time, score, situation on the field, down and distance, all that stuff matters when you're talking about the call to play is secondary.
Yes,
you don't get down in the 5-yard line and you want to run a 5-wide set where you really ain't got but 2 wide receivers. That's not coaching. That's just play. That's not even good play call.
No doubt, man, Mark, man. Hey, be safe out there driving, man. You brought some good points up, man. Hey, I'm gonna have to figure out a way to get a tag. You know, like a little stickers.
Yes, sir.
And hear me out. I'm gonna have to get stickers for all of the truck drivers. Just let me know so y'all can put that on your truck, man. Somebody some free pub or something. You know what I'm saying? Since y'all driving all over the world, and it'd be like, man, hey, think about that. That'll be fire, man. I listen to Law Nation. You know.
I'm rolling with the nation, baby. I'm rolling with the nation, baby.
Oh man, ooh, rolling, ooh, and now you rolling with Law Nation.
I got them bars out here, baby. We rolling with the Law Nation.
Yeah.
On the road.
Hey Mark, you got a clever idea, but I'm gonna come up with one right now. I'm gonna send it. Look. Send me a message so I get your address, man, so I can create those stickers. I'm gonna send you one. You know, rolling with Law Nation, you know.
I feel you, dude. Keep doing what you're doing, love what you do. Cowboys Nation, stay up. I holler.
Yes, indeed, man. Shoot, he down there through Marietta, Georgia, man. Shoot, you know that. Yeah. Mark, rolling with Law Nation, you know, or just rolling with Law Nation. Put that on a bumper sticker, put it on a truck or what have you, and then have my little YouTube channel. You know, hey, somebody be behind, stuck in traffic, and who is Law Nation? So they pull it up, and they see my face, like, you know, that would be dope, man. That would be dope. I'll be all over the globe, man, with this stuff, man. I love it, man. And look, truck drivers. God bless y'all heart, man, because I got quick temper, man. Somebody cut me off, I be thinking about 4 or 5 minutes down the road, like how I'm gonna get them back. But you got to have good patience when you're driving, right? And you got to say, woo-sa. But truck drivers, man, I love listening to podcasts while you're on the road. Sometimes my long videos, like I was live one time for 4 or 5 hours. I said, well, I know I can replay that while I'm on the road, and by the time this video ends, I'll be at my destination. That go hard. If you working out, you in the gym, and you see Law Nation with on 2-3 hour joints, put that in while you working out, man. By the time you finish, you be like, yeah, man, I listen to 2-3 hours of Law Nation, man. And it's to the point when I do short videos, they be hitting me like, Law, man, come on, man, 3-minute video, they ain't it, dog. I need them 4-5-minute joints, 4-hour joints, I meant to say. Yeah, so it's all good. Yes, indeed. Cargo plane. Yes, indeed. Let's go. You know, Law Nation just sitting there. Without the glasses, though, you know. Without the glasses. I got to wear these glasses for a couple of days. Let's go. I got my guy for the 601. Who this?
What's up, boss?
What's good, man? Who this is right here from the 601 from my neck of the
Man,
woods?
this Red J, man, from the Silk, baby.
Red J. Yeah, I see they put your whole government name. I ain't want to call that one out, but you know what I'm saying. Are you related to that family? Yeah.
I don't think so, bro. Hey, if I did, I wouldn't have a 9 to 5 right now.
No. You be somewhere. Yeah, now I already said your name. You be somewhere at the Star.
Yes, sir.
But what you got for the show, Reggie, man? What you got for it, man?
Not much, man. I had to. I just want to chime in, man. First of all, say, man, love what y'all doing, man.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of put you in the category we compare comedians to Kevin Hart. Everywhere you look, you know he's there. He's always working. That's what law is.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. I try to be, man. Shout out to Kevin Hart. He's a Cowboy fan, by the way. He just converted over to Philly.
Oh, yeah.
What you got for the show, man?
But, man, I just want to say, man, I had to chime in about the caller, man. To me, it ain't no excuse for people who listen to y'all, to listen to, you know, Law Boss, Okoye, Botch, Steele, man. It ain't no excuse, you know, to just take the low hanging fruit. Man, he ain't no bus driving quarterback, man. Come on, man. Come on now.
Oh, you talking about my guy? I ain't want to push back on that. I just look, people gonna have their perceptions of a player, right? From where they're standing or from where they're looking at, and a quarterback can't have back-to-back good games. That's anecdotal. You know what I'm saying? Because we can also say, well, within the same confines, we don't do the same thing back-to-back. We don't have a philosophy and a principle. So when you are a collector of plays or players, you know what I'm saying? You will see the highs and the lows. One week we doing 14 personnel. The next week we doing 11. We didn't do things consistently from a play calling scheme, but we wanted consistency. You know what I'm saying? So it's crazy. It's crazy. But go ahead.
Yeah, correct. And man, even if you take up the runners up from year before and this year, they didn't have no back-to-back games in the playoffs where they just played outstanding. Jalen Hurts, he didn't play that good against the Giants, you know.
Right.
So, and then he played a little bit better against 49ers, but he just wasn't great. And even with Joe Burrow, he played terrible against Tennessee, but the defense pulled it off for him.
Yeah.
They still, you know, went on to the Super Bowl. So, man, we got to stop that, man. It's too many content creators that put out, you know, good information. You know, not like the 4-letter networks or the 3-letter networks that just put out, you know, anything to just be clicked on.
Yes, indeed. So, for example, Jalen Hurts, I believe, didn't throw a single touchdown pass in the playoffs, right? I mean, he didn't throw a single touchdown pass. Now, he went to the Super Bowl and he threw a few touchdown passes. So it's what angle do you want to go at? Do you want to go at teams that create defensive plays, that can get turnovers and takeaways, right? Or do you want to look at it from the angle of, hey, he ran the ball and got a touchdown, right? So it's so many holes into arguments that is just crazy. That's just how it is. That's the world we live in with these quarterback conversations.
Yeah, man, but that's all I got, Law, man. Keep doing what you're doing, man. What's up, Cowboy Nation? Let's rock, baby.
Let's rock, man. This guy from, hey, what part of Mississippi you from?
Madison, man.
Oh, okay,
man, milk and honey.
No doubt, man. That's my guy, man. Madison, Mississippi. You know, hey, that county don't play. You know what I'm talking about. They don't play. Man, in Rankin County don't play either, you know, in Ridgeland and all of those. I'll never forget, I was in Jackson. I saw a Ridgeland cop pull over a Jackson cop. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, wow, they on County Line Road. I said, God, dog. Yeah, they don't play around there, man. Mississippi, shoot. These counties are very picky. 82 counties in Mississippi, you know, and every county fight each other. And they fight each other to a degree, whereas in Mississippi, they put the county on the back of a tag. So you got Hines County, and you fool around in Rankin, you get pulled over, shoot, you ain't thinking. especially if you're drinking. You know what I mean? People who been to Mississippi, they know what I'm talking about, right? Mississippi is just what it is. Mississippi. A lot of people gonna be like, nah, Law, you ain't shoot. Mississippi. So it was so weird that when I came to Texas, when I went and got my tag, I was like, y'all don't put the county out there on the tag? They're like, nah, it's all love, you know. You know, in Mississippi, you should rather try to get your tag updated in the wrong county. They be like, hey, what you doing over here? You don't belong here in this county. We don't like you people. You got to get on around from here. Going back to Hines County. Yes, indeed. But shout out to Mississippi. You got to be there to know what I'm talking about, or be from there to know what I'm talking about. I got my guy, Bishop King, and then I have MJ, but you're live, Bishop, from the 945. You're live.
Man, what's good, Law?
Not much, man.
Man, say, man, hey, man, I gotta piggyback on a couple of last calls. Hey, man, people gotta remember, hey, Jerry, you know.
The conference has been locked.
Man, I don't know how much longer Jerry even needs to be doing interviews just to be respectful to the John family, just to be 1,000.
Yeah.
He shouldn't really just be talking, man.
Yeah.
Jerry just to say some shit.
Yeah.
We all know Terence Steele better not be no damn swing tackle. Unless we drafting a new, that's the only way. We must be using that 26 pick to get a tackle. That's the only way Terence Steele should be a swing tackle.
Yeah. If they draft one and they say, okay, yes, he's moving around pretty solid in shorts or what have you before pads, but we want to go ahead and draft and then slowly bring Terence Steele up to speed. I can see that.
That's the only logical explanation, because we got a stud with Tyler now, and this go back to Jerry, just me and Jerry. And he love his guys, man. We like our guys.
We do.
To the fact that he even considering starting Tyron Smith. That's just, and I love, bro is a Hall of Famer. Bro should be a Hall of Fame, Ring of Honor, all of the above.
Right.
But you got to know when it's time to change your role in the organization. You know what I'm saying? And I don't think Tyron one of them ego people where I gotta start. Tyron just want to be on this team. He love the Cowboys. He a guy that love his team, and he love his family, and he love just Dallas in general. So he gonna always be here.
Yeah.
I don't think he an ego hungry person that he wanna start so Steele can't start. Like, nah, Tyron would be cool being the swing. I think he'll be a dang on good swing. We might have one of the best swings in the league if we had Tyler Smith starting and then Steele starting at the right tackle and Tyron being the swing. We could be arguing we got one of the best swing tackles in the league.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying, with Tyron. But, like I said, man, I think Jerry at that age, man, where y'all just let Jerry make it, man. Don't. Because Jerry just be talking at this point, man.
Yeah.
You can, like you said it the day he even said the news, like, man, his eyes getting to that glossy stage, and
the skin rebelling from him, man. He got strawberries all over his face. Yeah, he's up there, man. I don't know what's going on.
That money can only keep him going for so long. Like, don't get me wrong, he a billionaire. He got the best health care that money could buy.
Yup.
But it's only so much. It's at this point, like I said, man. Eventually, Jerry needs to stop doing interviews. You know what I'm saying? Just to keep him out of BS. You know what I'm saying? Like, he don't need to say the wrong thing at the wrong time.
Because people ain't going to give him the benefit of the doubt. They're going to be like, all right, Jerry said it. You know what I'm saying? Let's roll with it. Let's type it up. You know?
They going to act like the man not 97 years old, right?
Right. They ain't gonna give that man the benefit of the doubt, man. It's going to be like, hey, Jerry said it got to be truth. It got to be the gospel. It got to be real. And look, I think the world of Jerry, man. It would not be a dry eye in the building when he gone on. You know, he might outlive us all too, by the way. You know, I'm not going to discount the man. You know? He might outlive us all. But, man, but it's just one of those things where we would sit back and say, man, come on, dog, just hush. Because even though I agree with Coach Marv, like, positional flex is a good thing, but you don't have to announce it. You don't have to let people know.
Right. That's just like he didn't have to say nothing about Zeke. He could have just, if we brought Zeke back, that's cool. Like, I mean, I guess it is what it is. We Cowboys fans, we got to come to the understanding. I mean, they just love to be in the media, and I guess that was just something else. But he didn't have to say nothing about Zeke. He could have just, okay, if we brought him back, we brought him back. But don't get some of these half the fan base hopes up, and that's why we always divided, because the Joneses, the way they use the media, we stay divided as a fan base.
Yes, indeed, man. I appreciate you, Bishop.
People like, we need to hurry up and bring Zeke back, and then the other half of the people like, oh hell no, we better not.
Yeah, we better not. Yeah, we fighting each other, man. Look, we are like the Great Divide ice cream. If you think I'm lying, just go to the store and look up the Great Divide ice cream. It's really good. But I appreciate you, bro.
All right, one more thing, man. Hey, pay Diggs, man. Like you said, we got that 5th-year option for CD. I love CD, but this is CD first good, like not good year, but first just great year, like really, really good season. Diggs done had multiple seasons. Like his rookie year, Diggs was a dog. Like he was guard number one his whole career. He been really a dog. Like we need to go and pay brother. Go and get that out the way. Him and Steele need to be paid before week 1.
No doubt, man.
What you think about that law as far as the next contract?
I think that in this order, Terence Steele, then Diggs. Let's get it out the way.
Yes, sir.
Appreciate you, man.
I appreciate you for taking my call, man. How about them Cowboys?
How about them, man? Bishop. That's Bishop Kane, y'all. Steve White said pay Lamb first. Look, there's no right or wrong way to eat a Reese's, right? Regardless, they need to pay somebody. But I prefer for them to go ahead and do the shore up your offensive line and go ahead and take care of Diggs and take care of Lamb in that order. Now, if Lamb come first before Diggs and Terence Steele, and you can say, hey, Terence Steele, hey, we got him on a tender. We paying him $3.3 million. That's more money than he ever seen so far. Let's see what he looked like coming back from that injury, etc. I have no argument with that. But it's just my thoughts and my opinions. You know what I'm saying? But and shout out to Jerry Jones. I'm not throwing any shade or salt at him. Although he probably take the salt and put it on his McGriddle. You know what I'm saying? If I throw some salt at Jerry, all he's just going to catch it. And he's going to sprinkle it. He's going to sprinkle it all over his McGriddle. So I don't need to throw any salt at him because he need to talk. He need to stop taking the intake of the salts, by the way. You know what I'm saying? So I ain't going to do that. But neither here nor there. I got my guy MJ from the 206. You're live.
What up, Law? How you doing, brother?
Yes, indeed. I'm doing good, man.
Yeah, it's good. I just listen to people. Your boy, I call it the 4-4. And what I mean by the 4-4, you got the new offensive line coach. You got Shadamore with his scheme. Everybody got their scheme. You got McCarthy with his scheme. And then you got some of the Kellen Moore scheme. So it's 4-4, and that's going to make the offense more dangerous. The scheme is going to be better with Dak Prescott. And now, on the passing, y'all might see 40 passes, but it won't be 40 passes. The 40 passes will come from like 8 screens. You see what I'm saying? The screen game is going to keep you from throwing 40 passes down the field, but you'll get like 8 screens to the backs. You see what I'm saying? Or to the receivers. That's going to make Dak Prescott more efficient.
Okay.
And then with the slant routes, you're going to go deep sometime, the play action. You know what I'm saying? So the offense is going to hit you all over the place. Now with Jerry Jones, you know, he know ain't nobody guaranteed. another day. That's up to the Most High. So he said, man, I got to get this championship. So he been listening to y'all long. He listen to Steele long, Balls Cowboys. Like, man, them guys on that YouTube is tearing me up.
Yeah.
Man, I better do something. You know what I'm saying? So he listened, and they still got money to do something else. So, but Law, what you think about? I like your boy, the guy from is that the D tackle from Pittsburgh?
You talking about Kalijah Kancey?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We got the big boy.
Yeah.
I think we need to. If we dropped him in the first, because he can play DN too. Boy,
he can play all along that LOS depending on how they like to scheme it up. Yeah, his get off is just crazy, and he got low center of gravity, so he's 6 foot, right at 6'1", so he's not this big tall interior guy, but his get off, his punch is there, and of course he's 281. We can work out with some things.
So if I was coaching, now you got me all over the place. I'm like, man. You know what? I'm going to get that penetrator, him. Then in the second round, I'm going to draft the big boy, the guy from Baylor or Wisconsin.
Ika.
To me, they better than the Michigan guy because you can't move them and they penetrate. They penetrate a lot. You see what I'm saying? And then the third round, I could go the guy Zula. I think his name is Zula, the guard. Y'all got to check him out. He's good, too.
Zula.
I think he's from Kentucky, too.
Okay, I'll look him up, MJ,
He's
man.
good.
What else you got before I let you roll, man?
And one more roller. Man, you put that halfback on there, and I was talking about him. Is that the Pittsburgh halfback? Israel?
Yeah, Israel. Abin Candy.
Some guy said
Abin Candy. How you say that man's name? I think it's Abin Candy, Israel. I just call him IA or something, because this dude gonna be nice, man.
I had a guy on your chat. He said, "Well, he did the shorts Olympics. He trained for that." No, homeboy, that guy got 20 touchdowns. That ain't no training. When a guy can get 20 touchdowns, and he'll take that thing to the house. That boy cold-blooded.
He cold-blooded.
It's like 20 halfbacks. So all the halfbacks out there, like Zeke, well, you better sign because it's 20 halfbacks, and a lot of them halfbacks that get signed, some of them going to get 1,000 yards, some of them rookies.
Yeah.
So you better go and get a contract, Zeke, or you will be on the bench. You will be out there on the street.
Yeah.
So, I like your show, good contacts, and like you say, one game at a time, and let's get this chip.
No doubt, man. Salute, man. Yeah. And let me just say this again. Izzy, yes, Stephen White. That's a better way because Abin Kanda or Abin Candy or Abin Kanda. I think that's how you say it, Abin Kanda. Because I've been listening to the highlights of him. When you look at the film, that speed do translate, right? Like you see, he's a 4. I'm not going to say he's a 4.26 guy. I'm not going to say that. But he's right. He's a 4.3 guy. I can say that. Izzy is a 4.3 guy. And some of it translate when you look at the tape. You literally see that. Now, my thing is even, and I know I'm finna get some hate mail now. Bijan Robinson. When you don't look at the highlights, just look at the games. You will see that, hey, that wear and tear is already starting faster on him. And I don't think that you're going to get the full 4.4 speed that he does and the cut and the stop and go and burst acceleration that he does. He is already equivalent to me. And it's just my thoughts. To me. His speed level is going to be right at around 2018 Zeke coming in, the draft. And that's Bijan Robinson. And that's where I see him. Like, there's some games I said, hey, man, he's supposed to get a little bit more than that. But he's a bigger back that I think that you can put in, and he will be good. But the team's got to understand, even with Bijan Robinson, don't make him that feature back that do 25 to 30 carries every game. You're going to get that one good year out of him, and then you're going to see the law of diminishing rates of return settling in real badly for him. That's just from my observation. All right, and don't put that butter knife down. Hook 'em fans like, oh, they punching wind right now. Like, that's law. I can't stand that Law Nation dude, man. They punching air. But the Gibbs, Jahmyr Gibbs, I went back and watched his tape to see how he looked blocking. And I really trust him blocking. When you go back and look at Jahmyr tapes, he's a willing blocker. Saban made sure of that. The quarterback that came from that school made sure of that. And Gibbs would get in the way, roll tide, you know what I'm saying? And that's just what it is, y'all. Choctaw said, F, Bijan, and Gibbs. But I feel you, though. But to me, that burst of that acceleration, the short area quickness that Gibbs got, you be like, F him all the way to the touchdown. You know what I'm saying, Choctaw? Because he's explosive. And the same is with Bijan Robinson. If you picking Bijan, you know, I think that's some mustard. You know, I think that back in the days that we used to put on hot dogs and stuff. But if you think of Robinson, BJ, I can't say, I don't like calling guys BJs, you know. Pause. But Robinson, when I say Robinson, y'all know who I'm talking about, right? B. Robinson. If you want to get him, just know that it's going to be like bananas on the top of a refrigerator. It's going to age real fast. But it still will be good if you get him with a plan of action that you're trying to go all in for the next 3 years. And you can get year 1, year 2, year 3. Hey, then you be saying, hey, what's going on? It's Dijon. Okay. Dijon was the mustard. So Bijan is okay, good. I'll be messing up some names, y'all. All right, I got my guy Lokes, man, from the 972, man. You're live.
Good afternoon, Law, man. I hope your day is great. I hope you're well.
Yeah.
I mean, I just want to touch on this Mike McCarthy and Dak thing real quick.
Talk to me, man.
Granted, I know Mike McCarthy is not the person I would put on a high pedigree of coaching standards. My simple answer is no. However, one thing you can't deny is his credibility and the respect he's earned running an offensive scheme, right?
True.
And sometimes what you've seen in the past is we like to hire our own in-house coaching staff without feeling the heat from the stove, correct? Jason Garrett, tenure, 8 years plus.
Mm-hmm.
Playoff wins, but no NFC conference appearance, correct?
Correct.
Instead of standing to succeed. Then you got this Kellenick, Mike McCarthy. You know, I don't know how many years it's been, 3 or 4 project playoff wins, high talented team, because you got those. You can say you got the pieces offensively and defensively, but you can't execute at the highest level offensively or even defensively at times to get over the hump. And to reach an NFC conference championship, you know, that's saying something, correct?
Yeah.
And in summary, in things saying this is, I think we're done looking at a project, especially knowing our timeline, you know? And I feel Jerry is getting closer to that level of urgency from most fans to get to a championship, especially when the window is wide open in the NFC, especially NFC. AFC is a whole different story, Lo. You know, you can talk me off the cliff on AFC because there's a lot of great teams AFC, but NFC, I mean, who you cannot put against it and not win, right?
Right.
And coaching does matter.
It does.
And no matter what level you are, coaching matters if you want to succeed in not only life, but, you know, just in your fundamentals and what you want to become. And I feel like Mike McCarthy going into that coaching room is going to bring this to these guys and be like, hey, you know, I know what we did in the past hasn't worked. You know, that's for a reason. I'm done with this BS at times, and let's go out there. Let's play some damn football. Let's make things simple to ourselves. And I think Jerry and Steven letting go of Kellen was huge because it's a small step to admit that coaching matters, and that's saying something for Jerry, you know?
Yeah.
And I'm going to leave you with this, Law, and I'm sorry if I, took a little bit of your time.
No, you good.
But Mike McCarthy and Dak said about the offense, which makes me excited. I'm a paraphrase here, right?
Mm-hmm.
For Dak, I'm excited to be in a position to succeed. And from Mike, he said, football is kind of simple when you put the best players in the best position to succeed. So words can cut more than a knife on butter. You got to read between the lines, Law. And that's all I got to say.
Man, that's a good call from him, man. That's my guy, Lokes, man. Always bringing in some good stuff to the table, man. And I like what he said, man. Hey, it's more to that statement than a lot of people. Let me see if I can go right here. Hold on, y'all bear with me. Boom. Here we go. It's inside the phone now. Just got to make it a little bit bigger. Yeah. The Jerry phone, so when people call in, they got to build that right there. Yeah. Can you imagine opening your phone and it's FaceTime? It's Jerry like, hello, Jerry, what's good, man? Now, Jerry going to be like, man, Law, I'll listen to your episode. It's me FaceTiming Jerry. And he going to be like,
get your damn act together. I don't like your attitude.
Hey, Jerry, man, come on, man. You chilling on your phone, you see Jerry. You better hit that do not disturb or decline. If you want to decline someone without them knowing, tip of the day, turn your phone on airplane mode while talking to them and just tell them, man, bad locations, man. And if you flip your phone to airplane mode, the phone itself will seem and it appears that instead of you hanging up on them, it appears that you lost signal, right? So message. All right, man. All right, so we down to the last final three. I got the 936. I got Mark from the 424. Then I have Willie D, man. All right, so Mark. Oh, not Mark, but the 936. You live, fam. Talk to me, man. Who this is, by the way? Who this is?
What's good, Lord? What's good, man?
Not much, man.
Oh, man. I just got a couple things to say.
No. Who this is? Who this is? So I can save you in. So I can save your name, man. Who this is?
This Dallas Cowboy hard hitter.
Hard hitter, okay. Is that how you say that Texas part from?
936.
From the negotiation. What's how you say that?
My hometown, Center, Texas.
No, they got
Center, Texas, 936.
All right, so what is
Nacogdoches?
Nacogdoches? That's how you say that. Okay, man.
Yeah.
Nacogdoches, man, Texas. All right, man. All right, hard hit. Dallas hard hitter. I got you in here, man. I just never seen it before. Nacogdoches, man. I'm a transplant, man. I'm from Mississippi.
It's nice through there, man.
It's nice through there, man.
I know you from Mississippi.
Yeah.
Mississippi down now.
Yeah.
But boy, you know they don't play down there in Mississippi.
Man, you better sundown in certain parts, man. You better be careful. But go ahead.
I'm trying to tell you, boy, you don't gonna get caught down there, son. But yeah, all crap to the side though, Law. But the Terence Steele deal is that ain't gonna work if they don't put him over there, man. I'm just telling you, it ain't gonna work, man. If they don't put Terence Steele back over there, Tyrone he probably gonna last about 6-7 games. They're gonna be for him. Not who can say? But
right.
they need to put Terence Steele back over there, man, because it ain't gonna work without him.
Right.
They, like you said, they hustling backwards. Like they hustling backwards. How you gonna hustle backwards, Jerry? You supposed to go forward with your money, not backwards.
Man.
Man, like I say, it was something else I was gonna tell you, Law. But Dak, I was gonna tell you about Dak. Dak, Law, we gotta start holding Dak accountable.
Yeah.
We got to. He going into his eighth season?
Going into his eighth season, yeah.
Right? Law, we gotta start. We got these new coaches now.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I love Dak. You know, I've been watching him ever since he come out of college.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And then when the Cowboys drafted him. But now, man, we got to start holding him accountable for what he do out there on that field, man. He reading, he throwing the ball. You got to, I ain't saying he a bad quarterback. I ain't saying he trash, but we got to start holding him accountable, man, because if we don't, we're just going to look at it like, Dak. But
let me ask you this, though. Let me ask you this, hard hitter. How will we be able to hold him accountable? Break it down to me.
For the things he do, interceptions, not reading the plays right, stuff like that, etc.
So when we say when we say hold him accountable, as a fan, how will we be able to do that though? Like from what we haven't been doing already. Like how will I be able to do that? Like how will I be able to do that, or how would a person that's not doing it do that? Like how will we be able to do that of holding him accountable?
Just holding him accountable, period, Lo. You know what I'm saying? Like Carla was talking about, like you were saying a while ago when I was listening.
Right.
Get over there with Dak, and when he mess up like that, and get in his ear, like somebody said. And another one of your calls, he just grabbed the board and just go to the sideline, go sit by himself.
Right.
No, y'all need somebody back there that's in his ear, you know what I'm saying? Hey man, just whoop the whoop, whoop the whoop. Holding him like you can't do this, you can't do that. That's what I'm saying.
Well, I think that I agree with what you said. However, I think that's going to have to start with Mike McCarthy. So when Dak Prescott throw that INT, we need to see some type of, hey, coach, going to him on the sidelines like we see other coaches do and talking to him about that right then and there, not waiting for the press conference to come through, etc. So I just want to be able to I just want to be able to make sure that the holding a player accountable thing is within reasons, right? Because from all I've been doing this YouTube thing for a minute, and every year there will be people to hold Dak Prescott accountable, right? Case in point, in 2017, 2017.
I'm saying from a coach perspective.
From a coach perspective,
So Dak, hey man, you can't do this. Don't be hollering at him. Just hey, you can't do this. Whoop whoop. That wasn't there. That's what I'm saying from a coach perspective. But Dak ain't had that. You know what I'm saying? Really, you know this. I know it because I've been watching. I watch every game.
Yeah.
He'll grab that tablet and go sit on that bitch by himself and look at that tablet. Ain't nobody with his ear, man.
Yeah.
That's the only thing I'm saying.
Yeah, it's gonna be hard, man, because I don't think that, and this is just me. I don't think that the Jones family would like to see that on the sideline. I remember in 2018, Chris Richard, he kind of rev up some players, right, on the sideline. And he revved up some things. Yeah, and then they said, "Hey,"
out of there too.
They said, "Hey, we don't like that around here."
But not that aggressive. You know what I'm saying with Dak? Just tell him. You know what I'm saying? Get him this. You know what I'm saying?
Right. So it's gonna be hard, man. So it's walking around on the eggshells.
Just look at him in the eye and say, "Hey, brother, don't if it's not there, brother, don't throw there.
Mm-hmm.
Run off, run or something." You know what I'm saying? Don't be it ain't called for it. But anyway, that's the only thing I had to say, man. I ain't gonna take up all your time, But
yes, indeed, my guy. I got you saved, man. Dallas hard hitter, man. DHH, man, from Natchitoches, Texas, man.
Nacogdoches.
Nacogdoches. You got to put the ish on there. Nacogdoches, man.
You got to put a D in there, man.
Oh, I'm from Mississippi, man. That's our go-to thing. When we mess up, man, hey, man, we from Mississippi, man. Leave us alone.
Hey, man, I'm going to have to come to Dallas. I'm going to have to come to Dallas with one of them deals, Law, and just chop it up with you and just chop it up with you. Because I was going to come last year, but I just have a lot of stuff to do.
Man.
I was going to come down there to one of them auditions y'all be having.
Yeah.
It be going down. I'll be watching your line.
Oh, this year is gonna be crazy, man. You look up a show called NFL Inside the Huddle. Look up Dallas Cowboys edition NFL Inside the Huddle. I'm your host, man. So I appreciate you, man. Come on out, man. We ain't gonna have a good time. We're gonna have a great time. Yeah.
Me and my friends.
Yeah.
Try to get out there.
Let's do that, man. Appreciate you, man.
Yeah, have a good rest of the day, man.
Yes, indeed, man. Hey, anybody who hit that 10 million, man, y'all help me out, man, and hook your boy up with some of that money, man. If you guys win that 10 million and that $10 million underdog sweepstake thing if you win. But you guys get what I'm saying. Like, yeah, we say, hey, hold the player accountable. How? You know what I'm saying? Like, how? If he threw an interception, y'all want me to get mad and do a rant show? Like, he threw an interception, you know? I can't do nothing more than what his contracts say. He's untradeable, Dak, right? You can't trade him. You got a no trade clause, and you couldn't cut him because you was going to eat $89 million, and that's like buying a car and you get a flat and you say, all right, well, I'm just going to trade it away. But nobody's willing to buy it because you got a no trade clause on it. So you just say, okay, I'm just going to buy another car. And you're still making payments on that new car that you just bought, but you're trying to get rid of it because it got a flat. It ain't going to work that way. And that's how the contract is on Dak Prescott right now. It's a non-negotiable situation. All right, so next we got Mark, the enlightened one from the 424. You're live.
Hey, what's going on, Law? How you doing, sir?
Man, I'm doing well, man. Can't complain, fam. Holla at me.
Yes, sir. So my first thing I want to touch on is Dak. I think some of the criticism is fair. He didn't play well in situations where we felt like he should have. We should be extending some grace to the man. He was playing with a broken thumb. So some of those interceptions were just you could see it was like a grip thing, like where he saw it, he stepped to it, but he didn't have enough. I feel like he couldn't grip the ball good enough to get it where he wanted to, and then some were just bad reads, and then you got tip passes and things along that nature. But I watched that every single snap, and I'm fairly confident that he could take us where we want to go. He's way more than a game manager. So I feel like that's disrespectful to call him a game manager when we just watched him throw for 44 touchdowns and 10 picks in 2021. Like, was he game managing then too? He didn't play well in the playoff game, sure enough, against the 49ers either time. So I think we passed the part of expectation for the regular season for Dak. I think we just going to focus on him getting right in the playoffs and getting us where we need to go. And then the next point is Terence Steele. Like, like you said, like we just going to let Jerry do his thing, because there's no way that you watch Terence Steele play right tackle healthy after his rookie year and didn't think that he was one of the best in the league at his position. So, yeah. Why
play around with fire when you can literally put it out by saying, hey, that's my future right tackle. He's coming through recovery. We think the world of him, and if needed, we would take a look at our offensive line and do some positional flex. But for right now, it is still March, and we got a lot of things to do, as far as evaluating our talent. That's all they had to say. But the Jones family, hey, man, we're going to put him at swing tackle. We're going to announce that we're going to put him at guard. Look, they didn't say guard until after they heard all of the news of us saying about the swing. Hey, you ever peep game on that one?
Yeah, the cleanup is crazy. The cleanup is crazy. Another thing I noticed is that this offseason, the Cowboys were a lot more quiet than they've been before, and we made big moves. When we start talking, that's when I get scared. So now Jerry and Steven talking again, I'm worried that they going to rest on their laurels and they not going to make no more moves.
Yeah.
I need us to get back out there, and we need to stay aggressive as far as deep tackle goes. We need to try and see if we can snatch a linebacker somewhere and then draft one as well. So that was pretty much it, Law. I just wanted to call in and tap in with you, man. Congrats on all the success and continued success as we move forward, man. And I'll be in touch as we get closer to the draft.
No doubt, Mark. Appreciate you for calling in. Yes, indeed, that's a good call from him, y'all. Hey, it just hit me. Like, they didn't say guard until after they heard us complain about, hey, man, wait a minute. He's a swing tackle? Wait a minute. Hold on. And then they say, you know what? He's a guard now. He's a guard. So it could be smoke smoke and mirrors, right? Smoke and mirrors, y'all. All right, Willie Day, come on, close us out, man, from the 214. You live.
What up, man? Look, man, I feel like the Dak thing is an ongoing argument all day long. I get it. The thing is, like,
since 2016,
don't be paying attention. Like, for example, remember when we played against Washington that night?
Yeah.
And before halftime, the man threw like 5 touchdowns, 350 some yards, no interceptions.
Yeah, right.
But didn't nobody really praise him like that. Any quarterback do that, have a game like that, they be talking about the next 3 days.
Yeah.
But Dak Prescott threw them ball, and first of all, one trying to say Dak Prescott done had a game like that, not that hot, but he had some hot games before. So the last caller, he's right. He's not no bus driver, but he's not the greatest quarterback either.
Right.
Yeah.
So Willie D, to your point,
he got drafted in the 4th round. So anything he does to me, icing on the cake, man.
Icing on the
and
cake. Yeah. Good point.
People got mad that he got the money, but they wasn't. But they was cool when he was getting lowballed, when he was playing on the first 3 years on his rookie contract. I don't get it. Another thing is, now that's a Dak thing.
Right.
But another thing is, the thing about the other day when I called in, when I said I had like three things to talk about, I forgot one of them. So
what was it?
The other one was Simmons. Man, if I was the Cowboys, I would give up draft picks for proven commodities. That boy, 25 years old, and from all these YouTubers, y'all, trust me, I watch all y'all. Everybody keep on saying, all thing we need is somebody to plug the middle. That dude right there, he gonna take up double teams, and he gets sacks. I watch him. I don't watch the kid.
Which one again? Who you want? Who you want again?
Huh?
Who you said you want again?
Simmons.
Oh, Jeffrey Simmons.
Yes.
Oh, Simmons.
I would give up two first rounders for him. I don't care. Look, first of all, you gotta think about it. If the Cowboys ball out like they've been doing, this kid right here is 26, and we probably gonna win the Super Bowl if we get him. That next first round draft pick is gonna be 32nd. So it don't matter, man. Go get him. And make sure you can get him for 5 or 6 years, because he's gonna be in the prime, 25 years old, a fucking proven commodity. I don't know what Dallas Cowboys have made the move already. Pay him.
Yeah, pay that.
Pay him, and then I know the thing is, I know they gotta play bigs. And they gotta play Parsons, but they gotta make it work. Plain and simple. Go get that dude right now. Give up it. I would give away 2 first round picks, and if they want a second, I give them a 2.
Wait.
He's a proven guy, 25 years old.
He's 25.
That young man can play for the next 5-6 years.
Hell State, Mississippi State guy. You know how I love my Mississippi boys or what have you. And when you look at Simmons, he will bring that tenacity. He had 8 sacks last season, and then he had a little injury here and there. But in the season before that, he had 11. Just those last 2 seasons, it would take 4 years for us to equate that in sack totals from our interior, because we just don't do that. But I would say, if you say this year's first and next year first, then he's still on his rookie contract, so they're gonna have to pay him in Tennessee. So what I would say is at least offer a first, or you gonna offer one of those conditions. Whereas if he played to a certain level, it can turn into a first and a third. But I won't give up 2 firsts though. I won't let him off the hook that easy.
Okay. No, cool. What I'm saying is this. Of course, the Cowboys gonna come up. Them talking about the Cowboys gonna say they want to give a 1 first round draft pick. But what I'm trying to say is this: even if the Titans go up, I would do it because I do know the Cowboys be hitting on their picks. But right. Sometimes I feel like most all these draft picks is a question mark. This dude, he improving already.
Oh, yeah, he's a proven commodity.
He's a beast. So give up. I told you that if we get him, we should win the Super Bowl or be in the Super Bowl or in the NFC championship game. So
if you get Jeffrey, if you get Simmons,
if all the main
it won't be a single hole. It won't be a single hole on the defense.
The next draft pick is going to be like in the 30s or 29th. Man, I would give it all.
No doubt, man.
You got to do something. I understand, Pat. Hey, man, we ain't won nothing. Go get some ballers. Ballers, man. What is the ballers, man?
I appreciate you, Willie D, man. Thank you for calling in, fam.
Yeah.
It's Willie D, man. He Krug, man. That's my guy. Yeah. Here's my thoughts on it.
Goodbye.
And great show altogether, y'all. A great show. I can't make this stuff up, man. If you fool around and get Simmons on this team, you would immediately be one of the better defenses in the league. I wouldn't. Where would our weakness be at? You know, your front will be there. You will probably say even with LVA, he will shine because you're getting pressure up front, right? And you keep everything clean. Of course, Parsons will still be able to make his deals. And the secondary, it would just be the secondary for what we know it is, right? It will take care of getting the ball back to the offense. So the defense will be solidified. So I asked you guys about a couple of weeks ago. If this team closer to being elite on defense or offense, right? And I'm going to lean on defense. I'm a defensive guy. I would prefer my team to be elite on defense. And we're not that many pieces away. And I like the Jonathan Hankins signing, but I want Jonathan at what I said even with Antoine Woods. Y'all remember that? I said I wanted Antoine anywhere between 14 to close to 17 snaps, right? And that hurt the feelings in him. But I think I would like to have Jonathan Hankins anywhere between 20 to 22 snaps. I don't want him to get the full 60. It'll be hard-pressed for him to even get 30 because I'm thinking that football is a long sport. It's not a short one, and I want to be able to have that rotational piece in. If we want to judge this D-line, I need to see something from Big Bo. Let me say this one more time. I need to see something from Big Bo. If Big Bo showed us really who he is and what he can do, then we can leave Carlos Watkins on the streets, right? But by Big Bo not being who we think he is, we still thinking about bringing back Carlos Watkins, right? So, and that's just what it is, man. Defense win chips. Shout out to y'all so much, man. Hey, we just got to formulate these things and put it together because in the beginning, you know what I'm saying, is where we need to be at, down in the trenches. And speaking of in the beginning, I just got to play this clip one more time, man. Somebody sent me this right before I went live. It had me dying, man. Watch this dude right here.
In the beginning, yeah. In the beginning. In the beginning.
He looking for some help.
In the beginning. Genesis 1, verse 1. In the beginning. In the beginning.
Don't be like this dude, man.
Yeah.
Hey, he looking for help. Nobody helping him out. He like, hey, man. In the beginning. That word messed him up, man. Hey, he gonna have to start in Revelations because in the beginning he can't start where that is at, you know. Oh my God, man, that ain't right, man. Hey, We don't want to be like, man, hey, we got to make sure that word messed him up, man. That word sacked him harder than any sack that any quarterback than ever felt in their natural life, man. He never, truth be said, that he never got out of that word, man.
In the beginning. In the beginning.
Rick, I'm getting too over this. Hey, my guy was like,
in the beginning.
What got it from me? He was. That's how Kellen Moore was, man, when he called them plays against 49ers. He was like, he looked at Mike McCarthy like, hey. Kellen Moore, when Tony Pollard went down, he was. Somebody help that man. He from Mississippi, man. He like me. Hey, when he started looking like, hey, can somebody help me out with this word? This word's kicking me left and right, man. Help me, please. No, you ain't right, man. Hey, let me see it one more time. Try not to laugh, but watch the part where he was like, hey, man, what is this word, man? In the beginning. He was trying.
In the beginning.
That G messed him up. It's a Q. Look like a Q for him.
In the listen properly. In the beginning. Yeah. In the beginning. In the beginning. In the beginning. This is the one. This is one.
Oh my gosh, man. Oh my gosh. Maybe he didn't see that G there, man. Oh my gosh, man. All right, man. I'm gonna leave him alone, y'all, man. But hey, that's how I was reading the other day, man. Sometimes maybe you get up in age, man. Hey, Ro. Hey, man, I'm too through with y'all, man. Y'all wrong, man, and all of y'all wrong for laughing with me, man. See, they said if you laugh, you save and you add 15 years to your life. So you add 15 years to your life, man. So hey, I'm gonna leave y'all alone, man. You freestyle. That rock was everything. Got me sweating laughing over here, man. Somebody gonna be 2 days from now in the beginning. In the beginning. In the beginning was the Word. And God stepped out on space. And he looked around and said, oh, I'm lonely. I'll make me a world. And as far as the eye of God could see, darkness covered everything, blacker than 100 midnights down in a cypress swamp. And then God smiled, and the light broke. The darkness rolled to one side, and the light stood shining on the other. And God said, that's good. Then God took the light in his hand and rolled it around into a shining ball, and he flung it out against the darkness, spangling the night with the sun and the moon. And God said, that's good. In the beginning. Nevertheless, regardless of your beginning or your end, you're going to have to live through that. Laugh with him, but don't laugh at him, right? Ladies and gentlemen, And everybody got them a start date and a dash. And what you do in between your dash depends on what you are doing in your life. And there will be a time stamp at the end. From this day you start, the dash, and your end point. Regardless, you're going to have to finish. And as rough as it was with that guy in the beginning, he finished it. So I would tell you guys, Hector, he done added 30 years of his life just by laughing, right? Now laugh at that, yeah. But how bad do you want it is everything. Are you willing to go through the triple darkness to get it, right? Are you willing to climb up out of the situation that you are in to conquer it? Jim Rowan said, when the end comes for him, let it find him conquering a new mountain, not sliding down an old one, right? So, Cowboy Nation, pay attention to this. As we rewind our mind to it with goodness and grace and all of the good things. If you want a thing bad enough to go out there and fight for it, to work day and night for it, to give up your time, your peace, and your sleep. If all of your desires of it makes you quite mad enough that you don't get tired of it, and it makes you all hold everything tawdry and cheap, if life itself seems empty and useless without it, and all that you scheme and dream is about it, if you'll gladly go out there and sweat for it and fret for it and plan for it and lose all terror, of your mind for it, if you would simply go after the thing you want with all of your capacity, strength and scarcity, with faith, hope, and confidence and stern pertinacity. If neither cold, private, or famish, or fame, or sickness of your body or brain can stop you from the thing you want, if dogged and grim and besieged and beset it with the help of Almighty.
In the beginning, yeah,
Listen properly, y'all. Listen properly.
In the beginning.
You will get it, Cowboy Nation. That's been my time. I really thank you all for yours. And remember, you're listening to nothing but the best. Be sure, check out this guy. I may do a Steve Avila tape, but let me say this right here. We will be live a little later on tonight for the round table of the NFC East. So we're going to be talking all stuff. I need for all of my Cowboy Nation to stand tall with me as I battle Louis T, as I battle my guy Bad Dog, as I battle the guy that went to the Super Bowl and they made it all the way versus the Kansas City Chiefs, and they were a Jalen Hurts fumble away. Lord Brunson, we're going to be talking tonight. Y'all stay tuned. 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time Zone. So that's 7 o'clock my time. I can't wait to see y'all out there. Let's go. Let's get it. Cowboy Nation, one way or another. That's been my time. I really thank y'all for yours. And let's hear it one more time.
In the beginning.
Let me leave him alone. DC for life. Let's get on up out of here. Mama, I love you. Let's get it. Yes, he a right tackle, not a left guard. Let's go.
Damn. Whoa. Give me my theme music.
Hey. Ho. Let go. Come on.
I just wanna run it up.
DJ. Big T, appreciate you. Brandy, Coach Mar, big win. Thank you, Christopher 214. D Webb, Glenn Capers, Jay Pierce. Action Pow. Hey. Oh, wait a minute. I got you, man. Look, we'll run it back one more time for your mind. I got you, man.
Stop the cap.
I got you right here, man. Breaking news.
We answered. I talked stuff. I thought we had it, but it goes to show you who's a better team. And I'm sticking Cowboys.
You're crying.
I'm hurt. I love my Eagles. I don't believe it.
You gonna flap the hat one more time?
Just one more time.
The hard fight they did.
Let's go, birds fly, Eagles fly. Still Super Bowl chance for now.
Yeah.
Give me my theme music.
Come on, y'all. Hey. Ho. Let's get it. We'll roll it back one more time. Clip the wings.
I've been really in the field, lot of rush, I love the feel. Lately, I just wanna run it up. Don't need no deals, I make the deal. Half a ticket to a meal. Lately, I just wanna run it up. Yeah. Kinda check a song.
Hey.
Lately, I just wanna run it up.
Hey.
Count that too.
Come on.
Count it up. Lately, I just wanna run it up. Need them ones, I need them fives, need them tens, I need that change. To the safe, got blues inside. Greens and pinks, it's all the same. I still save and roll my change. Take some losses when I play, charge it to the game.
Hey.
I'm with L, yeah, I'm with T Black, I'm with Revenant. I'm with Bay, yeah, I'm with J, yeah, I'm with Chuck and Nine. Still the same, not switching sides, now it's about loyalty. Use the size up for the bag, and that's the more to me. I mix Nike with designer, I experiment. You just rock what's on the shelf and I'm not feeling it.
Hey.
Search for the one, but baby girl, it's nothing real as this. Can't trust a soul, I keep a hammer.
Call it too legit.
You pray for rain, you gotta do I've been really in the field, love the rush, I love the feel. Lately, I just wanna run it up. Don't need no deals, I make the deal. Half a ticket to a meal. Lately, I just wanna run it up.
Like this mother.
Yeah.
No, he's been good. That mother
Check a
don't
song.
miss, man.
Lately, I just wanna
In the
run
heat of
it
battle,
up.
he don't miss. No. In the heat of controversy, he don't miss.
Count it up. Lately, I just wanna run it up. Yeah. I just be off the dome. I never own no chrome. Too many foes and clones. Yeah.
Hey.
I be at home alone.
Hey.
I be in zones alone. I be on
Roll along.
Yeah.
Come on. Come on. DJ Law. Let's go.
Don't need no deals, I make the deal. Have the ticket to the meal. Lately, I just wanna run it up. Yeah. Kinda check a song. Lately, I just wanna run it up. Lately, I just wanna run it up.
Yes, indeed. Let's run it up, baby.
Lately, I just wanna run it up.
If I offended anyone, charge it to my head, not my heart. And
Lately, I just wanna run it up.
y'all already know how I go. I ain't mad at you. Come on.
I ain't mad at you.
I ain't mad at you.
I ain't mad at you. I ain't mad at you.
Yes, indeed. Ladies and gentlemen, let's get on up out of here. But before I go, got the longest outro in life. For real. Come on, baby. It is. Peace. Let me get some street lights out there. Boom. Don't let it hit you, though.
Take a drag of my cigarette. Breathe me out, breathe you in. Yeah. Take a bite of my burger, babe. Save the last bite.
Dodgers opening day. Shout out to the Dodger fans. It's danger. Don't let the street lights hit you. Thanks to all other supporters. Verde, appreciate you. It's your year. Every year. Come on, let's go. Cowboys, let's get it. Let's get it. Great show. Shout out to you, Blake. One love to you. You know there's never no hate over here. I love when we have a disagreement. It make us closer as friends and fans. So, boy, me and my brother fight all the time, though. He should have been a Cowboy fan. The twin maker. He a Niner fan. I can't stand him right now. But shout out to the beard game. If you got a beard in the chat, let me know. Let me see beard gang in the chat. Layer 2, I follow. Shout out to Lady Jessica. Appreciate you. Let's go. Shout out to you, Sadiq.
If a paper crane can fly, then forever doesn't feel that far.
Rebel Day. Yeah.
So far, so far. If a paper crane can fly, fly on, fly on, fly on, fly on, fly on.
If you don't like this long outro,
hey, bro, come on now, dog. Come on, man.
if you didn't hit like,
shame,
or you didn't share,
shame,
you didn't subscribe, come on, man.
Shame.
What y'all doing? Shout out to the Beard Gang. We up out, man. We out. Look, I said we up out by 5 times. We up out. For real.
You have to be your biggest fan. And when things are really tough and they're really rough and nothing's working, but there's something inside of you that says, I just have to follow that. Because you don't know who you're going to be.
In the beginning. Yeah. In the beginning. Yeah. In the beginning.
Because you don't know who you're going to meet.
Are you embarrassed? Are you embarrassed as an organization about how the team is playing?
Get your damn act together. You're set. Okay?
Low key, I'm relaxed a little bit now, but that bass line busting on this beat though. Low key, just pay attention to that bass line, man. That bass line busting. Turn your volume all the way up. That bass line go hard.
Ini the pininging.
You have to be your biggest fan. And when things are really tough and they're really rough,
I want me some
and
glory hole.
nothing's working, but there's something inside of you that says, I just have to follow that. Because you don't know who you're going to be.
Sacrifice, don't give up the fight. Everything will be alright on any given Sunday, yeah. Depend on you if you win or lose. You know you got to pay some dues to live on Monday, yeah.
Fatality.